All right, all right. Welcome, everybody. We have a packed session for you today. My name's Rodrigo. I'm going to be here with Nick Chahine, lead trader at the Options Inner Circle chat room. All you guys are familiar with this. I would hope so. If not, you're going to learn today. And we will be going over trade ideas, setups, technical analysis, market discussions. We're going to talk about the Fed, Nick's best friend, Jerome Powell, also. We're going to talk about energy sectors, different sectors, analysis, a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be a packed session. You don't want to miss this stuff here. In the chat, let me know when you guys are ready to start. But just wanted to give you guys a heads up. See if I'm muted. Okay, I'm not muted. All right. So that we can kind of get all on the same page. Before we do get started, though, put a 1 in the chat if this is the first time that you are attending any, this session. Put a 2 in the chat if you've already been in this session. That way I can kind of get a sense of, where to steer the conversation and all this stuff so we can have a better session. All right, Jacob, yes, Jerome Powell is Nick's best friend. That is true. That is a fact. Okay, I think we're good to go here. We might have Nick in the back. Let's go ahead and bring him on, Mr. Nick Chahine.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Hey, Nick, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Hey, man. So I know it's been an amazing session in, what you do in the live room. You're there Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, 8 to 5. You're there on Sundays. Tell me a little bit about this week. How was it there in the room?
It was great. Today was challenging technically, but here's the one thing I can tell you. If we can nail the close of the SPX with hours to go, we can make a lot of money just on the trading the intraday segments. So if you're asking me how's the trading going, it's going great because we're pretty accurate at reading the tape, as they call it. So this morning we were wherever, and then we fell, and then it looked like it was the end of the world. So some people did lose money, but overall the room was ready for the price, and we had 2 people that said we're going to close. Rami in the room, his guess was 39.05, mine was 39.03 to 38.98, and it closed like $1.50 below mine. So if we guessed it within $20, if you know anything on the SPX, if you know anything about spreads, credit spreads, for example, that's gold. That is gold, because then you don't need a rally or a drop to win. So we were ready to trade the days, even though they were a little challenging by the way they moved. We were ready from the top line theory. We knew what was going on. We knew there was too much exuberance. The market expectations were way too high. And so we weren't like all in calls waiting for the rally to happen today. In fact, we bought calls today late afternoon. I rarely do it for myself because I'm busy. So I said, I'm buying calls, and I chose Monday. And they delivered between 23 and 28% within an hour. I said, I usually book that rally, but I would also leave some on because personally, I described my portfolio. I didn't have enough longs. It wasn't a day to go all in because it's not that great of an environment, but to find opportunities to trade both
Right.
bullish and bearish.
The thing, Nick, is that you do a lot for different types of traders. You got people that are day trading, actively buying calls and puts. You do a daily iron condor. You have people, you're a big fan of credit put spreads. You cater to all that stuff.
So let me describe this morning today, okay? The morning, I forget what happened this morning. Did we open okay? We opened okay. So we opened and I described an iron condor. And then a little bit later, it wasn't clear. Oh, I know what we did. We opened, and at the open, I said, I'm taking a credit call spread. If you don't know what that is, let's go to a minute. It's a bearish bet that does not require a drop to win. Okay, so my bet played out so quickly that not many people were able to get into it. admittedly. So I sold the 4005 credit call spread in the SPX for today. Clearly, that was the top of the day. That was easy money for me. And then later in the day, I said I'm selling the credit put spread that is the 3880 and 3875. That came under fire, but it too survived. But here's the kicker. This is the one that made money. Somewhere in the middle of the day, I said, this is an iron condor I would take based on what I'm reading in the options. This was not based on the charts, not at all, no charts. This is me looking into the SPY options, sorry about that, the SPY options and determining a range to close. Knowing the range, I thought it would be around 39.03. So I said, okay, I want to open risk below that and risk above that. And I collected $145 per contract. This, folks, risks $335, and it delivers, what is that, 40% gains, 35% gains, yield on the money at risk. So this won today because price closed between those two values. And I usually put a box on that. It's this one right there. 640.
Yeah, I think you need to share your screen there, Nick. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I have a major migraine today. So
yeah,
you're
just
working with
to clarify, in case there's any confusion, guys, Nick has a live trading room, but he also has these email trade alerts. And we put all that information there on the chat just so that you guys kind of know where these trades are that we're talking about.
Yeah. So here's the deal. So let me see here. I'm trying to show you a visual. Okay, this orange box is this trade right here. Is this orange? Look how tight that thing is. And I did it right around here. So there were hours to go. And look at where the stock at the SPX closed, right in the middle of my box. That is perfect. If you don't know what an iron condor is, it basically says if you close above this level, if you close below this level, you win. How much you win, what you collected. So if I did 10, that's $1,400. Done. That's one setup. My setup was even more conservative. And this was the bottom end of it. So anyway, of this guy. So plenty of opportunities like this intraday. Furthermore, there are a lot of people that like to buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. We had a lot of those as well. I can't do those. They're just too fast for me because I'm helping people. I would just make mistakes. So somewhere in here, I said I'm buying calls. I didn't nail the bottom, but I nailed it close enough to where I was down 7% because I didn't nail the bottom. I bought them and then they fell, and I was down 7.5%, 8%. And then we had a spike into the close, and I was up between 23 and 28%. There were a lot of people that followed me into those, but I'm not good in doing them for myself because I'm talking to 400 people and it's hard to concentrate and I would mess it up. So luckily this one played out. And I also disclosed it. I said, I'm buying calls. I said which ones I was buying. And I said, for the simple reason is that I was short going into today to a degree. I had longs, but the longs were finite. So they had one already. And they're not providing me any more extra juice. And I had a lot of shorts, not a lot. For me, it's a lot. I don't like to short. So I was short CMI, played very well. I shared a short in DE. Both of these I shared to the members in DE, that's deer. Also played out really well. Short the Dow, lingering short, that's also working. I have an iron condor that I shared with the group weeks ago that would have delivered $1,000 if somebody did 10 out of thin air without even having to look at it. It expires on 12/30. Trade ideas like today is like, I'm not hard pressed to do anything. If you twist my arm, I would find something to buy on a dip. I don't know. So I chose Square maybe. I didn't take it from I did take two to make sure that the premiums were there. So I took two of those, but I wasn't hard pressed for it. So there is so much junk news out there, so much confusion. Like, can you believe what the Fed did yesterday? The Fed didn't do anything yesterday. You know what happened? Let's talk about that. So if you guys are trading based on the news and what Steve Leisman said about what the Fed said, you're going to be losing because you're chasing opinions, and that is not good. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. Take a piece of paper, a pen and paper. Nothing happened yesterday. He changed his mind. He didn't. We are idiots, the proverbial we. He's been saying the same message for like a month and a half. We misinterpreted it twice. Most recently, when he spoke and the market rallied like crazy, he said, starting next time, we will dial it back. But if you listen to him, what he said, and I was pounding the table, I was like, you guys are reading him wrong. That's not what he's saying. What he said, I think almost verbatim, like a month and a half ago, he said, we are going to be raising rates longer and higher than we thought in September. But what he was saying also at the same time, confusing the hell out of everybody, is that he's going to be doing it more slowly. So he's going to back off the 75 bips, but he wants to go longer and higher. So he's going to be nastier for longer. And we weren't hearing it. So finally, they put it in print yesterday. They showed the number goes from 4.7 or whatever to 5.1. What? You're making it worse. Yes, that's what I've been saying for a month and a half. That's what he's been saying for a month and a half. He just wants to do it at a slower pace. This is his like first smart decision. Let me back off and see what's going on with the economy before I'm keep raising and raising and raising higher. And then I turned out like there's a delayed effect and I crushed the economy where I could have just destroyed it without crushing it. So he's saying, let me see if I crushed it or just destroy it. That's all he's doing. He didn't say anything new. We just finally heard it. So we're throwing a fit. However, it doesn't matter. I promise you it doesn't matter what he does. The market's going to do whatever the market's going to do. I had a note to myself that popped into my email 3 days ago. It repeats, get ready for some drops because this is when big money likes to make big move before the quarter ends. It pops up in my email. 2 days later, this happens, right? Don't get bogged down. Just trade logic, trade the charts, trade some fundamentals in specific companies, and I think you will do well. You should have the confidence to do it with or without news. Challenge yourself next year to turn off the news. In fact, start right now. We traded the Fed event without the event itself. I did go to CNBC to watch the reading of the statement as soon as they released it, and then I shut it off. I didn't even listen to him talk, nor answer the Q&A, because there's some dumbass people out there. Can you believe that during the Q&A, they tell me that somebody asked him, when are you going to cut rates? That person should lose their press pass because they're not qualified to ask financial information. Why would anyone that knows what they're talking about ask about a rate cut when the guy is doing a rate hike? He's trying to control this economy that's going out of control, and they want him to cut rates. They're asking, when will you cut rates? It's like you're showing up for math class and you ask them, when are they going to cover history? What? This is just, that person should never be allowed to ask another question again. And if I was his or her boss, I would fire them on the spot. Anyway, that's the kind of garbage you have to deal with. So turn it off. You would be happier and you would do just as well. I'm not angry, I promise. I'm just on medication. I have a massive migraine.
But Nick, basically, I mean, you trade throughout these events, right? A lot of people might not even understand the events, but you basically explain this. You provide setups. People love the daily under that you do. Tao River is saying, I subscribe to Nick's services. Simply, Nick Chahine is the real deal. And you
Who
can
is
tell
this?
that, by the way, Tao River.
We had almost 400 people yesterday. Today we had 330, 340 people, and they're there almost all day. Why? I'm there all day. I give you 9 hours of my day with a smile on my face. Today is a little bit challenging, and I still did it. So here's the deal. The group is so good and getting better. And the better the group does, the more profitable, the fewer mistakes happen. Now, there are a couple of people that had a bad day today, and they were comfortable enough to fess up. This gentleman, Scott, said, oh my gosh, this was a terrible day. He even shared numbers. Now, we can work with that. And everybody else is pitching in saying, hey, maybe you should try this, maybe you should try that. Now, he may regret sharing it, but he's getting nothing but love in return. So I'm going to tell you this. Please do yourselves a favor. Do not trade alone ever again. And if you can find a group but better than mine, go join it. I'm offering you my group. It's awesome. the number one priority is to stop making mistakes. You will make many fewer mistakes with us a little bit at a time.
Some people are saying that there's only one real Nick, and then there's like 4 clones that you are switching through the days.
Yeah, it's like that movie Multiplicity. That's me. So here's the deal. This is firsthand information. See that guy right there, Fast Trades? He contributes his trades all day. And he is a fast trader, in, out, in, out. He's not alone. There's Ryan. There are a couple other people that contribute a lot of important data all day. So Fast Trades, who does not need my help to be there, sent me a direct message saying, oh my gosh, I cannot believe the things I learned here. And this is, he has no other job. That's all he does, is trade for a living. So he says, I didn't buy any puts. I followed Nick's advice. I haven't made much money, but he has certainly saved me from losing money. Number one goal, stop making mistakes. And that's a pro. If you can improve on a pro, I'm humble enough. Look at the sentiment. This is Jeremiah calling us a crew. Okay, so this one is, okay, so this guy, that guy came to me again today, early enough. Babu, super nice guy. So he had a problem with the credit spread. So he's learning how to manage when things go bad on a credit spread. There's Ryan. Ryan shares a lot. Krailman, he shares a whole bunch. Solus, he shares with details, charts, notes. They keep us in charge, up to speed on what are the algos doing from several angles. Some dark pool information they pop in. I mean, I have that information, but how cool is it to know that I can rely on these 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 now to pop in and contribute. So today there was a gentleman named Daniel. At first, I made a comment about him saying, new low a day on this, new low a day of that. I was like, okay, so how many of those are we going to call? And then when it came to a point where I needed to know a new low on one, I said, do you mind tracking it for me? He was all in. It was great. So I know that Daniel was looking at that. What is this? There's Louise. Jacob did 35%. And these are different days. You can look at the days. There's Fast Trades at 185. I can tell you when we woke up, most of my crew were already in puts. So we have a guy who popped in and said he had 900% on one of his trades. So this is Gint here, my friend. So he did an iron butterfly yesterday. If you don't know what that is, it's like calling the close exactly. So if you can say the SPX is going to close at 39.30 and it closes at 39.30, you get paid a lot. But that is a thread the needle trade that is low odds. It's very lottery ticket-ish. He made 4,500, 4,500, maybe 4,300 because he had to give back 20 cents. That's right. $4,300 on his trade. And they said, how did you pick the close? He said, I learned from Nick, and he used his own numbers, but he learned the method because I know I taught him. He bought, you sold him on the idea of joining me with these 16-week intensive courses. He was one of the people in there and he learned a lot from it. And now he has his own, and he does well. He does well.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's trade. So there's trade ideas, setups. But there's one thing, well, and we even haven't talked about the Sunday session, Nick, but there's a lot of education here.
The education is the core thing. Today, I spent a lot of time educating people in the chat room. Like, what was the topic today? We talked about calendars and diagonals. That was yesterday. Why is it important to use calendars and diagonals? Like yesterday, the S&P had an implied volatility in options that was, whoa, off the charts. It was 130, 140. You rarely see that on Fed days. It's there. So I said, if you're going to buy a call, don't do it for 130. Do it tomorrow, which today it would be one third. So 1/3 of the cost you would have bought a call or a put. Now, it would have been perfect had somebody done the diagonal like I was suggesting. But the point is, we went over what is a calendar, what is a diagonal, and why does it not work on the SPX? You can't do it on the SPX or the XSP. Today we had another learning, how to roll a credit spread in trouble. Today there was one person, his credit spread was at the money, so getting in trouble. And he said, should I punt it? Should I wait? And so I gave him directions on how to punt it. Punting meaning, let's give up on it today and let's open it for tomorrow when it's not so crazy and deal with it tomorrow so we don't take maximum loss. And I shared the way to do it. And it was a learning experience for a lot of people. Mind you, we had 330 some people at the time. So everybody benefits. Now,
Right.
this happened at the close or just after the close where credit put spread won. So that's at least $500. Luis won today. So Luis direct messaged me today. That might be him here. Yeah. So he was having a bad day. And then I got some calls when you said got XSP. That's when I said, I'm buying my calls. And I said which ones. And he has been scaling out on the rally. And he's nicely green after a red day. So his day started out crap. He didn't give up. And then I posted my entry point, and I rarely do. So he must have taken to heart. And then he hopped on calls with me, and he made 23, 24% on those. And I think that's his only way of making money now. Now, this guy, I believe, is a lawyer who stopped being a lawyer for this. So I don't want anybody to quit their job. Nobody should do that. You need to be able to prove to yourself. Stefke is a relatively new, his name is not Stefke, it's I think Steven, but he goes by Stefke. Member, and he came from one of these meetings we're having here. And credit call spread was 100% win. So the credit call spread is a bearish setup. Clearly, it was easy to win as a bear. The point is,
you're saying that this is for people that have full-time jobs and full-time traders.
Yes, and I'm getting to this. I'm getting to this. So here's everything I just said, folks. Everything here in the live room. This is the live room. This is not part of the service. This is extra that you get for being part of the service. The service is the Benzinga offering, which is me writing up my trade ideas that do not need you to be a full-time trader. So if you have time to join us in this extra thing you're getting here, the live room, it's there. I'm there 9 hours a day. If you have a quick question, you leave your work, you pop in on a smoke break or something, you hop in, Nick, I have this, what can I do? I don't understand this. I'm there live. I can answer you like this. I'm sharing my screen. So you have me as a resource anytime during the day.
Big shout out to Jacob. Says today one of my call spreads were more than 200%. I work half day and trade half day. That's
there
great,
you go.
Jacob.
There you go. So if you have a full-time job or you're a parent, you have kids, you have other obligations that would not allow you to be in the room with us, no big deal, because the service is not that. It's me sharing the daily write-ups before the market opens to give us some structure. The weekly recaps, I have a weekly video that is amazing. It's like 6 to 8 minutes, and it just focuses everybody. Hey, you're going to hear this noise. You're going to hear that noise. Just focus right here. This is what is at hand. And then once a day, I share a trade idea that does not require to be active. Like, for example, today, I was like, okay, so the market is falling because they finally listened to what Powell is saying. I'm not in love with anything. And if I'm long a lot of things, I don't need to do anything. But if I'm looking to get long, I will continue doing what has been working for months, which is buying dips in quality stocks that have hit support. And today I looked at, okay, so maybe Square this time. And Square had fallen a lot today. I think it's been muddled with headlines of this and headlines of that. Who cares? It's a good company. I'm willing to take a risk on it, especially that it already paid me. So I'll give it another shot. And I said, this can be available today or tomorrow. So if you didn't take it today, you look at it tonight when you come home from work. Okay, this is something I can deal with. It expires in about 5 weeks or 6 weeks. So I have time. It doesn't have to be surgically accurate. And then you decide to take it. Market opens tomorrow. If the conditions are about the same as today, you take the trade. If not, you come back and Nick, hey, that trade, is it still good? Then I'll tell you, well, if it was me, I would restart it in this spot rather than that spot. Depends. So does not require you to be active, but you have recourse to me during the live room or during a chat room that Benzinga has built for us. So here's whoops, that's not it. This one. Here's a chat room where I post my important messages. They don't scroll off the page. Because nobody can post here but me. Meanwhile, this one is buzzing with other people posting their conversations that go on in here. Usually there are about 300 to 400, 500 people in here. Right now, there's 174 people. but it's after hours. So, and then in the live room, there are about 310 to 330 people. So there's plenty of people to exchange with who to exchange ideas. And Sunday, I do have a 2-hour webinar, and usually it results with me doing your homework for you. So I do 2 to 3 videos, about 140 takers, sometimes more, sometimes less. I do the homework, and they're clickable. These are clickable links. You come up with a chart and the video that comes with them. And these are my notes. This hours of work on Saturday, so that Sunday morning you guys can have them. And if you can't attend on Sunday morning, I record it so you can see it, watch it whenever. And they're alphabetical, so they're easy to scroll through, and the videos are easy to scroll through. And this is online for all the members in my inner circle. So this is a recourse for somebody new. This is the starting point for somebody that wants options. What is a call option? What is a put option? What is a spread in general? What is a credit spread? And things like that. So this video library should grow. I should refresh it soon enough. Maybe for the new year, I'll have a new set of videos, but the content is the same. It's just give it a new look, maybe. We'll see. So the bottom line is, if you want direction on investment in general, whether you buy shares, whether you do options or futures, I think I provide good enough direction overall, like what's going on with the market, the macro. And then every day before the market opens, I have a sheet of charts, the ETFs, the SPY, the QQQ, the IWM, where's support, where's resistance. And before that, I have like 5 lines. This is what's going on. This what might happen. This what might happen. And here's what I'm doing today. 1, 2, 3. 1, I'm doing that. 2, I'm doing this. 3, I'm doing that. And so structure. Here's a list of the people reporting, companies reporting. Here's the password for the live room. So like every day, focus on the what's going on today. It's like your trade sheet. And then during the day, I share a recap update, middle of the day, with potentially a trade setup. So if you want to be in the live room, the trade ideas are flowing left and right, not just from me, from everyone, from you, from me, from them, and learning all day. If you're watching me work with charts during the day, you're going to level up. If you pay attention to the words I'm saying and what lines I'm drawing, you're going to level up your charting game. I mean, look at this. I mean, the lines we draw are super accurate. So we kind of know, we don't always know which direction they're going to go, but we will know exactly what matters and which lines will matter, so we can anticipate. Like today, somebody was struggling. Well, I can't make it work. I know the levels and I just still can't make it work. I was like, okay, so you need to have a plan, a little bit better plan. And we did. Today, a couple of plans did not work, but at least we knew that if this didn't happen, that will happen. So we were ready either way. I'm trying to remember, like this bowl right here. This is late in the day. We were here. I said, if we dip, I would buy that dip. And we dip. And this happens. I said, because if we dip, this could happen, this white. And this was my upside target. And then we ran out of time. But this rally gave you 24% win. Another one where we knew what mattered, like right here, hours ago, 9:02 my time, I put an arrow. I said, this is important. Look, this is where we closed. So, and then I said, this is important. We fell below it. We broke from it. We tested it. We tested it. So we identify good levels. And if you know the important levels, you know what not to do and what to do when. So you're ready for the day. Speaking of getting ready for the day, I'm here. I'm just going to blow all that stuff out for tomorrow. All right, so this is, look, 30-second charts. Yes, we do 30-second charts. Why not? Why not? That's the SPY. Let's go here. Let's go to the SPY here. Oh, let's test it. This is the SPY 15-minute chart. These are the lines that I had this morning. These are the lines that I had yesterday. I did not touch them. So yesterday, before the price action, I had this line as resistance with this one as resistance above it. This, folks, where we failed, This was the Ukraine low. The fact that the Ukraine war is still there should have told you that we are not going to slice right through it. We're going to hit it, come back, take another run at it if we're lucky. This support line was there from yesterday. Now it's no longer support. It is a pivot. So it's resistance on the way up. This one, bulls need to hold this to retain control. They lost it. So tomorrow the bulls need to retain control. So I will do my homework for tomorrow. The bulls need to, what would I say instead of hold? Recover to retain control. Support no longer. So that is resistance. And this one, you can leave it here because they're fighting for it. This one is from October. It is support now. Then we have more support zone. But if we lose that white line, which it looks like we're losing, there's more downside from it. In fact, yeah, it's not visible here. It's another ticker. But we don't wing anything. We're ready for everything. We don't wing anything. Nothing is left to chance. Like you see this $5 billion DP. This is a dark pool level that was $5 billion from like a week ago. Krailman from the chat room said, oh, I see this $5 billion dark pool level. We've made so much money from his comment on this one. Well, we've used it smartly because of his comments, and I keep moving it forward. And today, middle of the day, Arlene jumped in like 3 or 4 times saying, updating 2 times at least, sorry, updating the dark pool levels. So the SPY fell below a level where there was a whole, what's a dark pool? It's just a pile of mysterious money that comes in and trades a stock off books. And so it's a place where it's going to find resistance if you're going into it, and it's support on the way down. And she popped in twice. It's like she's reading my mind with updates on where's the dark pool now. And it was that when the SPY went to 291. So my comment to people was, and looking at the open interest and the volume and the options, if we get a rally, it's not going to last, and don't expect it to continue. I said we could get to 3908, but it's not going to go beyond it. And if it does, expect it to fail. On my comments, Ryan buys puts and got 30% based on my comment, because he thought, okay, he's saying we can't rally. We have to do something. Therefore, we might fall. So he jumped on puts late in the day, made money quickly. So a lot of opportunities, a lot of smart people. We're getting smarter. The goal is to find easy trades for everybody. But if you give me the time and come into my live room, I will give you even more learning and potential to earn on your own there too. Now, I've been providing my setups for iron condors, and I don't remember the last time it blew up. A blown iron condor is where price closes beyond the limits of it, so it goes to maximum loss. We've avoided that for a while, so it's been a good jag. Let's see here. Do we want to entertain some questions? I haven't been reading the chat because
So you're right. I just wanted to point out, Nick, that there's a lot of technical analysis education as well.
Yes.
Even though it's just really hard, man, to just really kind of put in words everything that happens in the chat room, because other people have different services. Like this guy that's doing the dark pool thing, there's other people that have this, other people have the other thing, and it becomes a community of like 300, 400 traders that are all sharing what they see with you, right? And you basically function like a little mini hedge fund, something, you know, where it's like all these retail traders helping each other out. More importantly, you know, also the fact that you can help them with technicals, because technicals, you can't trade without them, right?
Today we had that conversation. The answer is yes, I cannot. I choose not to. So today I asked, who would you, what would you keep? If they told you you can only keep either the technicals or the news and the fundamentals, I don't even hesitate. You can have the news and the fundamentals. I'm a fundamental trader, but if you force me to choose between the two, fundamentals or technicals, I would take the technicals.
Right. No,
no doubt. So the statement is, I would never trade a stock ever without looking at the chart. I don't care how much I love it. How could you do that?
Yeah. So listen, man, I think we have a ton of questions here that I've been getting, Nick. Let's just get through these questions really quick, and then we can get back here. into the session because we have a lot to cover, but I can't ignore all these questions from the viewers, okay?
Yeah.
All right, by the way, folks, thanks a lot for sending these. I just pretty much grabbed the ones that were most repeated. So does Nick Chahine go over student trade ideas? Yes, this happens every day. Are the sessions on Sundays recorded? Yes, they are recorded. They're posted in the chat room. These sessions are on Sunday. They're 10:30 a.m. Eastern till 1 p.m. Eastern, right? And that's every Sunday. That is included in everything that we're doing here. Let's see, can this help me if I only trade stocks or crypto? Yes, we have commodities traders, Forex traders, stock traders, all sorts of people can learn. You really have to look at options. You can't trade. I mean, the smarter trader is the trader that knows about options. That's just a fact.
You can derive information from the options table to trade regular stocks. I mean,
exactly. So let's see, what is the chat room schedule? The schedule is, well, the blue chat room is Monday to Friday. Well, the blue chat room is it's 24/7. We have an international community. I've signed up people all the way from Nigeria to Finland, Ukraine, Canada, all over the place. Anybody can join, even if you're on Jupiter, it doesn't matter. You can join this session, you can join the group. So the schedule, that blue chat room is 24/7. The live session, which is added as a bonus, okay, as a bonus, that is Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern till 5 p.m. Eastern. And Vitanza is asking, can this help if I only trade mini futures? Yes, Nick does cover futures as well. You'll see that. I'll show it to you later. And Nick can show the chat room too also. I think he showed it earlier. Does Nick Chahine go over Fed meetings, special market events? Yes, Nick will cover earnings, Fed meetings, anything that's happening out there. We're trading it because, you know, we're a group of traders. We can't ignore events, right? Is this for one style of trading or difference? Great question, Tim. Actually, Nick provides all different types of trades, everything options. There's people that day trade calls and puts throughout the day. There's people that love to get credit put spreads or condors, iron condors that are 2-3 months out. So they don't have to be checking the day to day, possibly people that have full-time jobs, people that maybe have a company or they're busy. But look, if you put your money in your bank and leave it there, you're losing money every day with inflation, period. So you have to find a way to you know, increase your funds basically. Is price at renewal is the same as today. It's not going to change. Does Nick provide options education? Yes, he does. We showed the videos and he also does it on demand. Let's see, coming to the last questions now. Do you teach the strategies that you trade from A to Z? Yes, Nick will show you how to do credit put spreads, iron condors, butterflies, verticals, diagonals, strangles, straddles, everything that you're trying to get to options. Nick is the guy for that. And last question we have here, Nick, and I'll let you get this one, and I will be posting the link for you guys to join because I know all you guys have been asking about it. How much capital is required to do the trades in the chat room, Nick?
Zero, because if you don't know what you're doing, I don't want you to use money. Today I had that conversation with a gentleman who was having a hard time. I said, whenever I have a hard time, I stop. I back off. I go back to paper trading to get back into the groove. You need to learn what you're doing. I have had situations in the past, not recently, where somebody comes to me, oh, that credit spread, I'm in trouble. I'm down $4,000. How can I close it? It's like, wait, how do you close it? You don't even know how to close it and you've already taken it. So if you come into something new, don't ever use real money. Use fake money. And then when you're comfortable enough with the concept and that you know how to close it, open, sideways, whatever, then you try one contract. And then when you prove to yourself you can play with real money with one contract, you make it 2 and 3. And then you get to a level to where, okay, I'm comfortable with 5. That's my maximum. Because if I go to 7, then I'm nauseous all the time. No, that's not good either. So 0. You don't need anything.
And I just want to kind of go over this really quickly, guys, just to clarify, okay? All right. So basically, you get 5 to 10 daily trade alerts in the live room. You can ask Nick for a trade specifically as well. But basically, it's around 5 to 10. And if you have a specific trade, a lot of people just come up to Nick and say, like, hey, Nick, I want to make $100 a day. What's the strategy that I can use here?
Yeah.
Then you have 20 plus email trade alerts that you're going to get from Nick. Okay. 20 a month, 20 trades a month, besides from the chat room trades that you're going to get. All right. You will have access to Nick Shahine's private education library, where he keeps adding videos. And this is the perfect starter kit for anybody. Okay. You will also have access to the Sunday session, which is 10:30 to 1 p.m., where he does a 150 to 200 stock analysis. And he'll go into the fundamental technicals, macro, micro, as many as you want. One time he even did like 400, but most people will just go into the live session and ask him, directly. So you can always do that. And yes, the link is posted there in the chat for all you guys that wanted to give this a chat. Nick, is there anything you want to add here before we kind of move on here to the next thing here?
You've covered it all there.
Okay. PJ says, yes, PJ. So it's $19.97 for the year. If you want to do a lifetime, basically would be $4,000, and you would pretty much never renew at any point. And she's saying, what if one just wants to participate in the room and doesn't need education? I trade futures for a living.
You can be in there. I mean, listen. If you trade futures for a living, you should do the math and figure out that if you have 15 friends helping you trade those futures, would that be a benefit to you? And they're there to help you and answer your questions. How much is that worth it? So I've been in rooms where it's just futures traders, like 3 or 4 of them. And I know the mentality and I know what you need. I think I can provide it, but only you can tell,
Nobody else does this.
The cost per hour is pennies.
But
pennies.
Nick, I'm not even kidding, dude. Nobody out there does what you do, man.
It's not that I'm the best trader out there. There are people in my room that are way better than me at trading. I have a really good eye for charts. I have a really good understanding of the markets, and I know how to put it in plain, simple English. And together, if you're good at something and I'm good at something, together we're going to do much better as a group. I promise you, that guy does not need me fast trades. I promise you, he does not need me. And he went out of his way to send me an email to tell me how much he improved from being in the room. Unsolicited email. I wish I can share it with you. In fact, you know Doc, right?
Doc is my brother, dude. Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you the Doc's text to me right now. Feel better. Just wanted to say, watershed day for me. All the things you instilled to me in practice doing paid off when applied, and all the input from the team came together and executed. I've turned a corner. Truly, thank you. Unsolicited message from Doc right here today, 1:08. It's 2:42 right now. So after the market closed, I get this. I'm like feeling bad, bummed about the migraine, and then I get this. It's like I didn't say anything back. I just sent a smiley face. Like, what do you say? This is freaking insane. This is unbelievable. So, and he's good enough to be on his own. I'm telling you, trading in a group is your mission in life for this coming year. If not my group, go find one. I dare you to find a better one.
Just not trade alone. But what I'm saying is that like nobody does this like you do it, man. You're there like 9 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in, trying to help and trying to organize the efforts. Today, I had to do some policing because the competition got a little heated between the Bulls and the Bears in there. I was like, whoa, okay, so let's all talk about it, gentlemen. So it's all good. So the organized efforts of the room are worth way more than what you guys charge. If I was doing it individually, because I don't have the massive power of the marketing of Benzinga, I would have no problem charging triple, quadruple what you guys are asking. But because we have the ability to reach out to so many people at the same time, this cost structure works for you and me.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, I don't know any other place that has it so complex, and the amount of time, the commitment that you have. I mean, you're married to the chat room, brother. Okay?
I am. And I spend a lot of time in the chat room. So I'm on the West Coast. So I wake up in the 3s in order to do the write-up, do the charts, send them out, and post them in everywhere I need to post them. That's pretty early. So I'm committed to it as much as anyone can. With a clear conscience, I am confident that we can We can do better for you. What's the
Yeah.
word? Level up. Wherever your game is, you're going to be able, you have the opportunity to level. I'd be shocked if you're not a better trader coming out of this than you are right now. It doesn't mean you're bad. It just means that you have the opportunity to increase, to become much better at it.
Yeah, someone's asking, I'm assuming this is a lady, but she's asked, are there any ladies in the room? Surely not a
Plenty of ladies. We have moms with their sons in the room. There's one, her nickname is Willow Puff. She comes in and I know she's like me, not a spring chicken. And I love it. I love it because they're outspoken and they're trading. There's no what is that, glass ceiling? Is that, do they say that anymore? That's not there. Everybody is there. So I'm confident to tell you that you won't feel out of place. This is not Wall Street bets. This is not hoot and holler, yodel, whatever the hell they say. No, this is not that. So feel comfortable joining us. Feel comfortable joining us.
Yeah, and there was a quick question here. I just wanted to kind of glance over here. So Nick, I remember when you and I launched this chat room over a year ago. It was just you and me there at first, and now it's a huge community, people coming out of the woods all over the world from all walks of life. And the community is great there. We have such great people that help each other out. You know, there's a lot of other chat rooms that are pump and dump chat rooms. You know, there's things going on there with fake bots, you know, Wall Street bets, all that stuff. Ultimately just planning pump and dumps, like a lot of you guys are aware. And really what I do like about this is that everybody that I've signed up there is a real human being. It's a real trader, someone that really is trying to learn and really trying to, you know, create income and wealth for that. So Alicia says, yes, female. Yeah, I mean,
Alicia is one. She's one, if that's my Alicia.
I know that I've signed up a bunch of girls for this chat room. So there's people from all over the world, dude. So don't worry about that. John says, I have so much respect for Nick. Can't thank him enough. Yeah, I mean, it is as well.
Listen, you're going to love it. Just join. That's all I can say. It sounds like a lot of money and I appreciate it during these times. But if you're trading for a living or you're aspiring to put a lot of money at stake, you owe it to yourself to give yourself the best opportunity possible. And that only can come by spending a little money to stop you from losing some money. So again, I don't guarantee you big winning trades, although I offer a lot of winning trades. Step one in becoming successful for the long term is to avoid the easy mistakes. If you eliminate, just think back. If you could eliminate the easy mistakes, those ones that are like, man, I knew it was going to rally. I was just a little bit early or a little bit late. If you can eliminate a lot of those, how much happier would your account be? And on top of it, if you can learn a few tricks yourself along the way to stop you from doing that without having to rely on me, how much happier would you be? And if you start taking some trades from me that actually contribute to you being positive. For example, I'm very conservative with my trades. I sell naked puts, yes, but those are conservative. I'll explain to you later. Options do not have to be riskier than actual stocks. They can be. We had that debate today, actually, because what was it? One stock in particular, Amazon. Before the market opened, during the market, somebody said, "Oh, I'm looking to get long Amazon, and tell me about it." So we had a whole discussion, and I said, "What are you looking to do?" He said, "I was looking to buy leaps in Amazon." And let's go to Amazon and let me see if I can explain to you what I told to him. Whoops, Amazon. Yeah, it's that kind of day. So one. Okay, so I went to Amazon and I said the following. Fundamentally, the company has no issues. So it will follow markets. If markets are higher in the future, I'm very confident Amazon will be higher. And I said, how many shares are you going to buy? Because I was thinking of buying, 10 leaps. 10 calls. Leaps are just calls, options that are way out in time. So I said, okay, here's my strategy. I didn't force them into taking risk. I said, whatever you want to do, you only do like 30 or 40%. We don't know what the market's going to do. Technically, if Amazon loses this, it's disaster, but it's highly unlikely. And if Amazon loses this, that means the market is down 20, 25%. So with these set of environments right now, with the givens, the Fed and all of that, knowing everything we know, this shouldn't happen. So the way I would go long, I would not go all in case it does happen. So I would have a place to double down and without increasing my initial risk. I don't want him to take 10 and then it falls and then double his problem by taking another 10. That's ridiculous. Don't ever double down. So instead, average in. So take a part. And if it falls more, you take the other part. And if it falls more, you take the other part. And then you enter at a really good price without increasing your risk. So I said I would take, I would sell 2 puts and buy 2 calls instead of buying 10 calls. So first of all, that's 4 out of 10. So now you're long potentially 4 shares of Amazon, 4 contracts of Amazon basically instead of 10. And half of them don't even need a rally. The sold puts, I forget the level, 70, 60 or something like that. So that means he won't start losing until Amazon falls to 76 or something. I forgot the numbers, but it's way below current price. And if it does rally, he's already long. And he has room to add. And I told him, if you do that and you buy those calls, I would immediately sell covered calls against them. Immediately. So now you have a plan where you're long Amazon and you've got hardly anything on the line. Beautiful. The out-of-pocket expense just drops considerably. And you're long effectively, like right away. If it drops a little bit, no big deal. If it rallies, you're long. If it rallies a lot, you locked in some profits. So, and this happened as a lesson. Okay, so you can have your own conversation like that with me on whatever ticker. So imagine, thumbs up. Imagine you want to take a trade. What's with that face? It's not a smiley face, like somebody's shocked. So what about this? What if you could jump in before you take any trade? Like this gentleman today that was struggling. I said, how about you come to me before you take your next trade? Maybe I'll join you. Maybe it's low enough for me to join. So you come to me and say, Nick, I'm looking to do this with this stock. What do you think? That happens like 15 times a day, at least. And you don't have to do it you can direct message me that. Even in the live room, you can direct message me. So if you're shy about it, no issues.
Yeah, Nick, what would you, do you think, where would you do a covered call on Amazon? Like, is it worth, like, what happens if you do a covered call, let's say like around 160, that like probably pays nothing or?
I'll tell you the numbers. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but let me check on them, okay? Give me a minute. So I like Amazon. I don't know the new CEO, but I assume he's not going to fuck it up. Whoops, excuse me, mess it up.
You got to put that dollar in that jar, man.
Yeah, I know. It's right here. I don't have a jar with me. They bought me a cowbell. Listen.
You're going to need a barrel, dude. No more jars.
They bought me a cowbell. So that's me cussing. Pretty loud. Bad idea. Okay, so Amazon. If you guys don't know, let me explain it to you. 1 second. Let me send this file here. I'm doing a couple things at the same time. I'm sorry. Upload. Okay. So if you decide to buy shares in the stock, you can take out money, buy the shares. You're on the hook right here, right now. The stock falls, you're losing money right away. The alternative to doing that, I can sell the $83 put for January. And that would be here, the $83 put, and collect $200, 200 and change. What happens then? Somebody is buying insurance from me that I will buy their shares at 83, not 88. So you buy it at 88, I buy it at 83. I don't need a rally to win. If Amazon doesn't collapse and they don't assign me shares, I made $250 out of thin air. And if the stock falls, I put the stock at maybe at 83. I break even around 80. Meanwhile, you lost from 8 to 80, 17%. Air math, I don't know. You do the math. So you would be down 17%. I would have just broken even. So that's the sold put. In this case, you could do that. And if you buy a leap call, so I said, okay, so what are you going to buy? September of next year? I don't know. If you buy that, that's $1,400 to buy the 89 call. And that locks in the profits, the price for shares at 89. You have the right to say at any point in time in the next few months to say, give me Amazon shares at 89. And they give them to you, even if they're at 95. But you paid $1,400 for. So when I do that, now I have an asset. Now I have an asset that is called a call. And let me get the marker. So if I buy a call out in time, let's put it to work right away. How? I can sell a call here and against it. So I'm not initiating new risk because I own a call out in time. The platform is happy. Hey, this person is short Amazon. Yeah, but don't worry. They're also long Amazon. So as long as you sell the call at the same level or higher, you're good to go. That's a covered call. Now, don't sell covered calls without learning the intricacies of them. And if you're in the room, people say, hey, what do you think of this covered call? I usually give my 2 cents. So the idea is to basically collect some premium while you own this. And if Amazon doesn't do this, this premium will die. And the cost for this one drops and drops and drops and drops because that premium is coming from, it's like getting your own dividends, basically. This is called a calendar. If you sell it at the same level, because you're just jumping calendars. And this one is called the diagonal, which is basically a calendar where you jump calendars, but you also jump levels. There, we just did a class about.
Yeah, that's what I was telling the folks. Like, I mean, you can pop in for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you can, I don't know if we mentioned this, but you can private message Nick also.
Oh yeah, I did mention it. So here, let's finish this lesson. Have you heard of options, right? You can buy a call, you can buy a put. Have you heard of option spreads? You can buy a call and you sell a call above it. Now, these two together, it's called the spread. Why? Because you're spreading your risk. You take risk, you collect some. Now you have two risks that are opposed. This is called a vertical spread. Why? It's vertical, it goes up and down in the same time frame. Now, if you take this one and you sell it, you move it to here. What is that? We just talked about it. Calendar. If you take it and move it to here, what is that? Diagonal. We just talked about it. All three are spreads. You have vertical spread, you have a calendar spread, and you have a diagonal spread. You have many other spreads, but those are three popular ones there. So if you're really new to options and you don't know what options at all, you can start with my videos and you'll get straight up there. So what do you want to do next? You want to give me a ticker or you want to do a lesson?
Yeah. So look, two things that I want to do. Last time we were talking about Bitcoin, I told you I was like 10,000. I had a dream. Okay. And my dreams sometimes, come true. So, do you think it's going to go below 10,000? I mean, for Bitcoin?
I'm long, and today it was up at 11 and change. So I've been on crypto for the group correctly for a long time. I called the correction last November, so we were ready for the giant correction. Nobody got stuck holding a bag under my watch with crypto, and everybody was ready to buy at 19. Now, granted, now it's lower than 19, but we traded it several times in between. So I've shared bets with Beto, which is so let me back up. The crypto, riskiest part of crypto, I'm not going to do the quiz. I usually do. It's a lot of fun. The riskiest part of crypto trading, I'm going to tell it to you. It's not the price of the asset. Okay, the price is volatile. But the risky part of crypto, I can plan this. But the risky part is, will I have my money? What platform will you put your money on? Unlike, I can't choose Schwab. Tastyworks has some, but it's limited. So you'd end up being forced into these casinos overseas. Luckily, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. My casino's still in business. So I chose crypto.com, not because they're the best. I funded a whole bunch. I opened a whole bunch of accounts, and for some reason, I only funded crypto.com. I thought about FTX, and thank God I didn't. So I am confident. I am very profitable in cryptocurrency trading. I am not confident I will have my money when I want it. So far, they haven't crimped me. They haven't put a stop on draws or anything. And I focus on three coins. USDC, which is a stable dollar. I collect interest on that one. I'm calling it interest. and Ethereum, because the process of Ethereum, believe it or not, held up better than Bitcoin. They never made it lower low. So Ether, the currency for the process of Ethereum, held its strength, because if you went to get your money out of anywhere, you had to pay in Ether. So the panics to get the money from FTX to whatever, all had to be done over the Ethereum network, which meant that the Ether coin was in demand, which meant that it held up. What do I mean? Let's go to a daily chart. So this is the drop. Wait. This is the correction, and then Bitcoin made a lower low. Let's see. I haven't looked at it this way. Yeah. Whoa, what the hell is that? And that's a fat finger. Okay. I haven't looked at Ether. What is this? Anyway, my point was, look, they never made a lower low because Ether was in demand. Let me look at a different platform. Ethereum, USD, Coinbase. Yeah, that's the quote on the chart. That's wrong. Yeah, that's not right. Oh, so this is on Coinbase quote. So look, that was the low way back then in July. Bitcoin made a lower low. These guys didn't. And also Solana. Solana is my dark horse. Solana is competition to Ethereum, the process. On paper, it's faster and much more efficient, but it crashed because it had words tied to FTX, either coins or whatever. So it crashed. So I'm in a position at a low price in here. I have traded these many times already. Let me see. November, I made a big trade inside of an Uber right here. It was awesome. I made another trade inside of here. So I'm green on Solana. I'm definitely green on Ethereum. My price in Ether is like 880. It's now what, 1300 or whatever. I don't own any Bitcoin, and I own some Doge. I'm even on the Doge. And that's it. So I don't own many of those crappy coins out there. I'm pretty realistic. But again, I could have nothing if I don't pull my money out of crypto.com in time. Yes, I can store it in a wallet, but you can't trade it in a wallet. You'll have to transfer it out, and it becomes very expensive. So when I opened my crypto account, I said, this is an amount of money that I dedicate to super risky trade setup, and I acknowledge that it's gone. So now I accepted the risk, the entire account. It's at risk, and I accepted it. It's nauseating, but I took the risk. Luckily, I can't afford to do that. I'm able to afford to do that. So I'm leaving it there. I'm trusting in the crypto.com for as long as it lasts. Now, if I go and draw my money out of there, and you do that, and he does that, and she does that, crypto.com will fail. Same with Bank of America. If everybody goes and draws their money, asks for their money, the run on the bank will bring the bank down. I don't care how big you are. Trust me, my mother lives in Lebanon. The banks have not opened for 3.5 months because they don't have the money. Okay, so crypto, we trade. I treat it like a stock. So in order to avoid me saying, go buy crypto, we've been trading BITO. Long story to tell you, we're trading BITO. BITO tracks the Bitcoin futures contract. Whoops, BTC1, I guess. Okay, there we go. So if Bitcoin rises, BITO rises. If Bitcoin falls, BITO falls. We made a lot of money by selling naked puts on BITO. I did, because I said I was willing to buy it at 950, and I kept selling 950, 950, 950. They never assigned me. 10 was, I think, one time we came close, but it was easy money. I haven't done it in a few weeks, and I own some BITO shares outright. And the cool thing about it is that BITO can live in your Schwab account, in your E-Trade account, in your Thinkorswim account. It doesn't matter. You don't have to stick your neck out by trusting somebody abroad. Now, it's not that your money is guaranteed in a trading platform. It's not. But at least it's secure to know that it's not fraudulent, like what happened with FTX. What else?
Right. The other thing, scam bankrupt fried. Yeah, man, that guy's gonna be somebody's girlfriend there. So listen, we were talking about
You said it, not me.
Listen, we were talking about Tesla, and
yeah, we talked a lot about Tesla today.
when I was, there was a moment, I think it was like a month ago or something, where I was just, asking the question like, hey, could Tesla go below 200? Where is it now?
Yeah, it could. So here's the deal with Tesla. I had a debate yesterday. A couple of people were long and they were adding. I said I wouldn't touch it for the very simple reason. I wouldn't short it. So Tesla is having its moment, and that NVIDIA and AMD had, where the bears have gotten a hold of it. If somebody is taking a position, an initial position in Tesla, and it's partial, I'm okay. But the person I was debating with, he knows his stuff, but he was adding to his longs. I was like, whoa, what do you know now that you didn't know 2 weeks ago? Okay, so all I know is that Tesla, technically, regardless of who it is, if you show me this chart, would you go long? It's like, hell no, because they just lost a neckline. You see this? The target could be as deep as this. What? $90? Yeah. So here's the deal. Tesla, before the pandemic, had 150% rally out of nowhere before the pandemic. And then the pandemic happened, and then it recovered it. And then from here, it ran, what was that, 500-600%. So even here, from here yesterday, it was still 60% above this. Amazon is here already. Apple is like here. Microsoft is here. All those big stocks are here, inside the pandemic levels. This one has miles to go. That's not reason enough to go, okay? So I want to tell you again why I would shy away from chasing it for an investment yet, to adding to an investment. Starting an investment, fine. Leaving room to add. Because now it's in a head and shoulders theoretical target, I apologize, somewhere down here. So bounces are going to be faced with sellers against this level. So right here, there's going to be a mess of sellers, and then it's going to fade. And here's the magic. If they come back to here through fault of their own or not, imagine this timing happened when the market has a little tizzy, and they lose it, rinse and repeat. So who suffered through this? Who suffered through this? Let me show you. I'm going to just simply change NVIDIA. I've done this so many times before. Okay, and put back the lines. When I drew these lines, I was called a kook. Look. Same deal. Weekly chart. They lost the neckline. They bounced. They couldn't hold it. They bounced. They couldn't hold it. They're bouncing. They're not out of the woods either. This is not a place to go long. There is a path to prosperity, but not yet. That's NVIDIA. Here's AMD. Head and shoulders right there. Ooh. Remind me to look at something. Huge head and shoulders. The downside target was here. They came pretty close. Also, when the bears get a hold of it weekly, the rallies are being sold. Okay, so I'm doing homework.
I don't think, did we go over your favorite sector, energy, already?
Yeah, 1 second. No, we did not. See that green M? That is a harmonic pattern that usually has Fibonacci levels that they retrace. I just can't read them. Oh, there we go. Target 1 is 96. Target 2 is 122. But in this case, I wouldn't look at target 2. I would just look at, maybe we can get to 96 with a lot of resistance at 86. So I put an alert for myself for when the RSI that they provide gets above the 50 line, to pay attention to the weekly chart. This is a slow poke swing trade opportunity. So if I'm looking at this and I'm optimistic the markets, I would sell a put or a put spread, and on stabilization or closer to 63, I would buy a call or shares if I want to do shares. Okay, so energy, XOM. Okay, I'm not a fan of the stock price action. I'm a fan of the company. They know what they're doing. Their P&Ls are great. They're cheap as long as oil is this expensive. they become super expensive in a minute if oil drops, because they don't control price. Like if Nike is PE is 12, I'm making that up, and suddenly all their shoes are 50% off, their PE is not going to be 12. Okay. And they don't control the shoe price. That's the deal here. They don't control oil price. And if oil price gets depressed, it's artificially inflated right now. We use less of it. We've committed to use less of it. All car manufacturers on the planet said they will use less of it. In fact, they will have none of it. We're zooming more. We're telecommuting more. We're flying less. If you're not growing in flights, you're flying less. We haven't recovered the pre-pandemic levels. So 2.5 years later, we haven't been back to normal. It says that the whole consumer, the demand is going to be shrinking and shrinking. So the concept behind that, the bulls, is that, yeah, if demand's shrinking, a lot of people are going to fall out of the game. I doubt it, buddy. There's like dozens of countries that depend on oil and nothing but oil to make money. They're going to be pumping as much as they can, whether they're authorized by OPEC or not. That is my thesis. So supply and demand, that's a win for the bears on oil eventually. Let the war end in the Ukraine and let's see what the price is, for example.
Right. I mean, and ultimately, you know, Russia says
I've traded short oil for 2 years, haven't lost anything. One Exxon short lost. Exxon or Chevron? Exxon. The most recent Exxon put lost. Since then, I've shorted the XLE, which is basically shorting Exxon and Chevron, twice and won. I'm currently in an XLE trade, but this one is an iron condor. It says if the XLE doesn't rally too much or doesn't fall too much, I win. So I'm agnostic oil right now.
Someone is asking, do you teach TA fundamentals? Yeah, that is
all day. If you have time to get into the live room, you have a lesson going on all day. If you want to learn and you listen to my words, gold. For example, let's do one right now. Give me a ticker.
Do you think
actually I'll do this ticker right here, whatever it is. All right. So fail, breakout. They're coming back to test it for footing. And if so, they should be able to come back to here. But they're going to fail, and now they're coming back to test it. So the battle is inside this box. Will the bulls be able to break this bear? Will the bears be able to break this bull? And if they do, they go down to here. Why? Because this is an inverse cup and handle. I call it ladybug. And if you lose the neckline, you're about to fall as much as this. I give it less than full potential, but look at what they would be covering. Wouldn't that make sense? So I would put an alert here. Get out of your longs. That's support and resistance lesson right there. Plus an inverse cup and handle. That's a pattern lesson right there. Gap fill, how to measure the move. Inverse head and shoulders here, bullish position. This is the target. How nice is that? Here's another neckline right here. Target is about this much. This is a place like this one. This right here is this right here, right? They bounced. They came back to test it for footing. It didn't hold. They went down the hull. So here, they bounced. They're coming back to test it. They're bouncing. So they did better. It's like they did this. But if you bounce now, you draw the right-hand shoulder. Okay. Yeah. So go ahead. You were saying? Give me a ticker. Let's take a ticker. Let's do one of their tickers. Pick a ticker from the chat.
All right. So let's get one ticker. All right. One ticker. All right. So first one we got, Brenda says, I'm loving this. Brenda, you should join the chat room. You're going to love it more.
You're going to love it.
Lamin says MDB. I think that's Mongo. Something.
Somebody asked me about it first thing this morning. I don't remember what it was. Okay. So I don't know the company. I remember my answer now. So the fundamentals are on you. Technically, if you bring me this chart on the daily, it is not a place. There's no clues to say, let's start longs. Look at this. Look at that. And here we are. So support, failure, resistance. So I would buy it on a dip closer to 180. Look at that giant gap down here. I don't think there's reason to fall all the way down here. Not every gap gets filled, but at least come close, ideally. And then when you come back to here, maybe you can take it out, come back for footing, take it out, and suddenly you have an ascending channel. So until you see these curl up, these moving averages curl up, it's hard to get long a stock that's going into a massive prior fail. That's on the daily. That doesn't mean you don't get long right away. You might have some fundamental reasons why you want to get long. So for this, I would focus in to see if I can get some more clues short term. See, now I do have clues. See that red thing right there, the W? That's a harmonic pattern. It doesn't have confirmation. And the RSI is relatively strong. So I will watch for the next 4 hours because that's a 2-hour tick. What if I get one of these red triangles like this one here? Then this is most likely coming down to 187. If you want to catch it below 187, that's a better starting point. Let's go to 1 hour. 30 minutes. Hello. There we go. 15 minutes. Yeah, there's no clues. It just shows that it's susceptible to drops in the short term. And you have this. So maybe above 221 or into 185, 84, 83, 87, something like that.
Okay, Nick, we did this a while ago, and it was great, but would you be down to do like rapid fire style, going through all these tickers, just bam, bam,
Let's
bam,
do it.
bam?
Let's do it.
All right, and guys, if you want to post some more there, this is like Nick flexing.
I'm gonna answer and move on to the next chart. So you better listen.
Throw some more tickers, guys. All right, so we're gonna start here. We got shop.
What?
I'm sorry, Airbnb, ABNB.
Airbnb is catchable at this level. We did a credit put spread. It worked. We can do it again. There's a lot of resistance, so I wouldn't buy a call, but it would sell a put spread on the way down. Next.
All right, we got Shopify.
Oh, Shop. Good company fundamentally, matter of getting in. Ooh, scary stock to just catch a falling knife blindly. If I were to do something, it would be like a late January credit put spread or sold put, or maybe own shares or some calls that have time on the clock, but half position, not more. And expect sellers around 38, 37 and a half.
All right, then we got, all right, no, that's not a ticker. Becky says, I'm loving this too. Becky, the love is in the air here. Big shout out, Terry. Welcome to the family. Let's go. All right. Let's move on here. We got Gush, Gush.
Nothing I would trade for myself using options. It is a fast mover. This is oil expert. Wait, what is this? There's an oil expiration. Okay. Technically, this chart not saying anything about oil or anything. You buy the dip into this and stop out if this fails, or you chase the rip above that, which is harder to do. So if you're itching and you can't wait to get long and you get long, however you get long, you buy shares, you buy calls, you sell put spreads or whatever you do that and set an exit strategy. If you lose X% or X dollars, you're out. This way, you don't have to wait for a perfect entry, but at least you know what to do if things do not go your way. These three are good triggers. They will get you to 164. Better on a dip into this support. Okay, next.
All right. Then we got from my best friend here, Becky. She wants NET, net.
I haven't looked at net in a long time. Ooh, mess. Okay, so on a 15-minute chart, it's in the middle of a very wide range. I can assume there's support at 48 because that's what I see here. So I'm going to go to a 1 hour and see better 2 hours. Okay, it's inside of a middle of a range. Look how wide the range is. So this is exactly the 50%. Yep, exactly the 50% of it. So there's nothing to do except assume that there's support below you around 48. So if you get long into that support, then you have the chance to ride it up a few bucks. $4, $5, $6. I think this is a death candle right here. I would get out anywhere up here. Now, if for some miracle they take that out, gone. They're going to the 60s. But that is asking a lot. Actually, iron condor might work here, but make sure there's no earnings. coming. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. On the daily, you can see how this is a prison that the walls are tightening, and so are these. So there, if you can do it, but that's a daily, so you're gonna have to hold the drum roll for about a few days.
All right, then we got two wrong with Unity. I think.
Unity. Oh boy, I have a couple friends buried in it. I would use every spike to exit and forget it ever existed. So you do your homework on the company fundamentals, but this is a hideous chart.
Okay.
Easy come, easy go. Give it more room. On paper, 25, 24 is your target on the loss of this. I'm looking at a tiny, tiny, not so tiny head and shoulders right there. So somewhere in here lies a target for this drop. Maybe bottom of this candle, whatever that number is. Let's go see.
Man, that looks like a vomit, dude.
27, 27, 27.50.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, this is your favorite one, AMC.
Oh, awesome. The quality gets better and better. Okay. AMC should be in jail. That's all I got to say. Okay, so the assumption is it hasn't been this low ever. Is this its all-time low? No. What was that? $1. Okay. Let's go to the daily chart. This is as low as it's been in a long time. So you can assume that this is as low as it's going to go. And if you assume that, you can hold longs and exit on a spike, and this guy can spike. So here's the look of it. Well, you're lucky. On a 2-hour chart, this green thing tells you that they might end up being at 7.2. If I'm going to put an alert here. I know a couple people that trade it. 2-hour harm 7.2 question mark. This I will know what to look for. If it can hold 5.3-ish, you might get this. If you hold this green thing says that is possible, although it's not confirmed. There's no corroborating evidence. So the corroborating one thing is the support. Second thing is the relative strength. If you see the RSI, this is a modified RSI. The RSI comes up above the 50, then you might have a catch a break. But then you look at these tails. Yikes. Okay, AMC.
All right, we got CDM asking for Oxy.
All in. Just follow Warren Buffett, all in at the top. Wait for it to spike again to the top and everybody go all in. I shorted Oxy so many times, I got sick and tired of looking at it. Oxy has fallen into a base. If you lose this base, Oxy will be $46. I'm very confident of that, but you have to lose the base. Until then, this is a support zone where you don't start shorting. And if you want to get long for a swing opportunity, set an amount of money you're willing to lose. It's not popular for me to say short Oxy because Warren Buffett said go long. No, Warren Buffett is trying to buy the company so he can put the cash flow into his company. He's not trying to make money off of the stock price. So you can't trade like Buffett because you're not Buffett. Period. End of story. If rallies are going to be sold into 65, 66. So if that happens and they lose that floor they just did today, they will come down to 60 and then repeat. They will bounce to 63 and come back down. And if they lose 60, they'll end up in the 50s. And once they end up in the 50s, a whole bunch of capitulation was us saying, what the schmutz? I paid $70 for that thing. How come it's $50 now? I'm down 40%. Yep. But there's the headline. Buffett could say, I added, like the government allowed me to add. The government, 4 months ago, there was a headline where it popped. And the headline was the SEC, whoever allows him, they allowed him to buy more, up to X%. But he hasn't. When will he? Will he? All of that. So if he does, that headline will cause it to pop. I would exit. I would short that pop.
Okay.
Then wait. When I say short, please, every time I said short today, I never condone shorting stock outright. Don't ever do that. You break the first rule of taking a risk, knowing what the maximum risk is. So you can't short outright. You don't sell naked calls. You don't sell short the stock.
All right, we got ALB from Hashish.
What is it? ALB?
ALB.
Albemarle, whatever you say it. Okay, I don't know the stock. This is support from a technical perspective. This is where you try along and you stop out. I wouldn't use this level as a stop out. This could be a fake out, but I would use rather how much money. Let's say I risk $1,000 on this trade, shares, calls, whatever. If I'm down X%, I'm out. Set a number and stick to it. So, boy, that was correct, but pretty violent. Jeez. Okay, so if you lose this one, you could come down to here. Heavy volume, so this drop is legit. Have they had enough? This was a legit bounce. So do your homework.
All right. We got, what is this? We got EMPH and Phase.
Enphase, great company, great product, hate the stock place. I said get long it, but it was down here. Up here, this is, I'm going to introduce you to an acronym. TH. It's too high to chase and it's too hot to short. Just walk away. When a stock does this, I take it off my watch list and I put on alert. Here. Wake me up when it comes back to here so I can trade it like a normal human being. Next.
Okay. All right.
But see, TH. I'm pretty consistent. Holy cow.
All right. Then we got Datadog, D-Dog.
We did that already.
We did? Okay.
Yeah, earlier.
All right. Disney from Trevor.
Didn't we? Or I did it for my
I think it
people.
was Mongo what you did, no?
Yeah, but I did it. Somebody just asked me before the bell rang. So it's still in my head. Datadog, same as MongoDB. Are they in the same industry? So it's running into a prior fail, not an obvious place to enter. However, you might have some support building. So this is a 2-hour chart. Take a 30 or 50 moving average, whoever is asking, and put it on your chart. If you see it curling up like this, like it has, see how it's down, and now it's curling up, and then you notice that them bouncing off of it, you got a behavior that could help you take that out. As long as one of these two yellow and red lines start, the moving averages start to curl up, then you can attack these prior fails. Otherwise, make sure you put stops. Always put stops. And I don't mean mechanical stops. I don't use mechanical stops. I just put an alert and I know to exit when I lose X dollars. Next.
All right. Next we got did you do Disney already?
No, I didn't. I have 3 more minutes in me if you don't mind.
All right. Yeah. So, we'll just go through as many as we can here.
Disney is falling into support. I think I did an iron condor on it or a credit put spread on it. I don't remember, to be honest. Let me see if I have it in my portfolio. I do. Credit put spread, 84.83. So I took a risk on 84.83 and it played out, and that paid 13%. Right here. So I said, if it stays above 84, I make 13% of my money, and I did. So I can reset the trade. So if tomorrow Disney falls to here, I will say, you know what we did here? We can reset the trade probably lower and wait for another boring 13-14%.
All right.
As far as upside, any rallies into this area will be sold, will be tried to be sold. And then if you hold this, you come back, and then the battle gets tighter and tighter until one side prevails, either this way or pop a little bit and start building an ascending trend. The bottoming process should be a U. You have a descending channel, they're selling rallies, and then you spend some time consolidating, going sideways. Your moving averages will be going straight in the middle here somewhere. And then you'd start to try to build an ascending channels where the moving averages curl up and you start buying dips. You have a nice view. These, they don't do anyone any good. Okay.
All right. Then we have Snapchat.
Next.
All right.
Snap lost me money because of the stupid CEO. I said, see you later, buddy. Never touching your stock again. Technically, you can get long into this dip hoping for a pop, but I wouldn't touch it. The CEO is just, I don't understand any company that, unless they're legally bound, and I don't know that they are, that comes out of nowhere. You just reported, you have a report coming, earnings. Why you go out in the middle and you say, we're going to report and we're going to suck. Why pre-announce? So that you can catch everybody unprepared? Usually I protect myself during earnings. I close my risk on that stock. Well, I had a credit put spread and he came out and said, we're going to stock. Lost. And I don't care about my money, but it was for the group. And it was a $2.50 wide. So it was a $1.70 loss, $170 per contract. It pissed me off to high heaven. So I said, screw you, never touching your stock. Besides, Snapchat, do you know what kind of business they're in? Tell me what they answer.
Is it advertising?
No, tell me what they answer. What kind of company they are?
Becky, I'm not going to say that. Come on. Social media?
They're a camera company. Don't take my word for it. Google their website. I had it here. I wonder where it is. I had it here from their website. Snap. I thought I had the logo here, like big yellow. It's a camera company. Where is it? Oh my gosh. Where is this? Is this? Yeah. Look it up. I deleted everything about it. Snapchat is a camera company. What? Anyway, let me see. Is it here in their description? Let's see. Wait. This is worth it. I'm telling you. Look, operates as a camera company. I didn't mind. Look at it right here. Not my words. Their freaking words there. They used to have it here, big letters. It's a camera company. Come on, load. Oh, it's a technology company now. It's not loading. Not loading, but that's the description, not my words, right there. Operates as a camera company. That's all I got to say. They don't even know what business they're in. Okay.
That's crazy, man.
One more ticker since this was crappy.
One more ticker. All right, I need to be strategic about this. All right, let me just look here through the list. All right, one sec. You know what, man? All right, let's do a firm.
Nobody wants Apple?
Yeah, but there's a bunch of Apple. I mean, you want to do Apple? That's fine.
We'll do Apple. It's the biggest company on the planet. Okay. Today it was a lead balloon. My gosh, the selling in Apple today was like it was like somebody was divesting of it in heavy, like big companies ahead of the, like they wanted to ditch Apple to buy something else so they'd look good on their quarterly books.
What was that rally, dude? Like, I mean, I mean, I remember, yeah, nothing.
Everything is extreme these days. It's like a toddler running the market. Where's my food? Anyway, so you have a hard floor below you. It should be hard support. So if you force me to trade Apple right now, I would be on the bullish side somehow, buy shares, buy calls, sell a put spread, or sell a put to own shares. But if we lose this one, stop out, because it's probably going to 116. And if Apple is at 116, the market is down, I don't know, 3,400, the SPX. So I don't think it goes there alone. I mean, Tim Cook would really have to, and I'm not a fan, would really have to mess up. I am not a fan. Most overrated CEO on the planet. Oh, look what he did with Apple. Apple would have done that with a chimpanzee in the office. It's a beautiful machine, the making money. Okay, next. So, bullish bet if you twist my arm.
Okay, so just to recap here, because we did have some people that joined in late. We have about 300 people live here, Nick. But basically, for those that joined in the middle or late or whatever, what we're talking about basically is Nick has a live room where he's trading the entire day, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. And the other live room is open 24/7. But basically, in the live session, Nick is doing 5 to 10 daily trade alerts in the live room. Then, and that's 8, he's also in the live session, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Eastern. Separately, you guys will get 20 trade alerts a month sent to you by email. And these are credit put spreads, covered calls, and you can always ask him about the trades and updates in the live room. You also get the 150 to 200 stock analysis Sunday session, which is from 10:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern. And basically full mentorship, education, guidance. You don't have to be advanced to join. We have new traders and things like that. And Nick, anything you want to add there on the chat room?
Yes, be careful. Don't believe what you hear in the media. Be calm, be tactical. Learn that word, tactical. You can't go on faith. You can't go on fundamentals. You have to go for purpose. Don't ever take a trade without being purposeful. Don't trade alone. That's why I'm begging you to join us or join another group that you like. Our group is honest. They're friends. They look out for each other. They have healthy competition. Today I had to rein in some of it. But both sides were making money. One guy had puts and one guy had calls, and they both made money today. Because if you know charts, wild days like today are heaven. If you know charts, if you don't, it's hell. Because you're like, what? I bought calls, it went the other way. I bought puts. Yeah, because you're playing in the hands of the market maker. We are market makers, thinkers. We think like market makers. Don't trade alone. Please don't trade alone. There's no need. You make fewer mistakes if you trade in a group. It's hard to mess it up when even if you just say, hey, people, I'm looking to get long stock ABC. What do you guys think? Oh, no, you can't do that. They're having blah, 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 blah. Or we say, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to join you. How many fewer mistakes would you make? We're not idiots, and we have over 300 people. You're going to do better with 300 people on your side.
Yeah, Joseph's asking, how can I get in the live session Sunday? Nick will post the link on the chat room.
I post the link every day with a password, and I change it usually once a week, twice a week, depends on what I need. And you can just pop in and out. Nobody knows you're there. You don't have to say anything.
And David Reimer, what's up, David? I signed him up a while ago. Says, thank you for today, Nick. I made $414 this evening. And luckily the SPX credit call spread I thought was AM settled tomorrow. It turned out to be SPX WPM. So I get to keep the $80 I collected on that one. Won't need to worry about.
We debated about that. I remember David. So his platform words the SPX name weirdly. So tomorrow is a monthly expiration, which means the SPX has 2 contracts on the same day. One is AM settled. That's the original monthly contract, heavy. And one is PM settled. So David's platform lists the AM settled as today's expiration. So he said, which one am I doing today? I said, there's only one today. And we finally got down to the bottom of it.
Right. No, definitely, man. I mean, that's really what it is. It's a journey, right? I mean, managing trades, it's not just opening and closing trades.
Oh, no.
It's
a whole bunch of stuff around dividends and all of that. Options are pretty tricky if you're doing it alone. Yeah. You either pay for tuition by making mistakes and costing you losses, or you pay a fixed amount and you eliminate a lot of those losses from mistakes.
Right. No, and before Nick carries on with his day, once that happens, I'm going to show you guys here the live room. I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to show you everything that this does include, especially for all the people that joined and have questions. I'm just going to give you like a walkthrough of the chat room, and I
just noticed you got your haircut. You look like you're 12.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my idea, but I gotta do it. So
I appreciate your help. Thank you so much for helping me do this. Thank you for opening the doors for other people to join. Clearly, we can't take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds in there because we become very inefficient. With 350, it is a smooth running operation and everybody gets attention. So I urge you to join a group. Mine is open. It's very welcoming. So I'll see you later in there, hopefully. You're going to take away the screen from me?
Yeah, Nick, I mean, any closing remarks you have here on the markets or anything like that before I carry on and show them your chat room?
Just be careful. Don't believe everything you read in the media. It's not evil. They just can't make money if they don't make a mountain out of a molehill. let's assume somebody comes on, oh yeah, today we're covering nothing major that happened. Instead, they have to say whatever is happening. They're going to make it sound like it's a nightmare. Oh my God, you won't believe it. You go and listen, it's like, what? Anyway,
Yeah, I
nothing
mean,
new happened.
we all know that you love watching CNBC. So
Oh no, I did turn it on this week in order to hear in order to hear Steve Leisman read the statement when they release it. And halfway through him reading it, I closed the window and we're done. I was like, what? The Q&A session is like, I don't need to hear it. What's he going to say? Nothing. So
yeah, well, look, man, that's probably the best tip you can give people, especially for the new traders, right? Yeah.
So I gotta go. Somebody's telling me that a perma bear has turned bullish. That concerned me. Buy puts. Okay. Later, folks. I appreciate it.
All right, Abe, there you go. Nick Chahine, lead trader. Give him a proper send off. Let's go. All right, Nick. I'll see you in the chat room. All right. All right. Nick is out. Guys, I'm going to show you the chat room from Nick. I'm going to show you everything that he's putting in there. I'm going to show you education videos, the Sunday strategy session. This is not over. Okay. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff there. It's going to help you also for all the people that did join. Okay. We got Doc in the house. I see you. What's up, man? Good to have you here. Doc is a great member. It's like a golden status member. We have a lot of these folks that love the chat room, love helping other people. Everybody's there to help each other. That's what it's all about. It's not, figure it out on your own. You have hundreds of people that are ready to help you and stuff. But for those that are asking, the link to join is there in the chat, and my email is there if you want to send me an email if you have questions. But let me just show you. You're right, Samantha. Let me show you how the chat room works, right? So there's two chats here. By the way, we do have push notifications available for this. You just got to download the Benzinga app with your credentials, and you're going to get these push notifications. So there's two channels here, okay? You have inner circle chat, and in the inner circle chat, everybody's posting, including Nick, right? So you have Doc. This is, what up, Doc? Oh, Doc, is this the guy that took your username, or is that you? Because if it is, we got him, all right? We got him. All right, so we got Doc, or Doc's impersonator there. We got Zuby, Grumpy. Oh, that's you? Okay. G Mello. Okay, so Nick is it? All right, so yeah, you can see that Nick is posting. This is a strategic market update. I'm going to show this to you guys in a bit, but I just wanted to go over the main stuff, right? So you have inner circle chat. That's where everybody's posting, including Nick, back and forth communication. This blue chat room that you're seeing is open 24/7. 24/7, it's always open. Then you have the Nick's important messages where only Nick can post. Before, we only had one, the inner circle chat. But then I talked to the developers and I'm like, hey, we might as well put a chat room where only Nick can post so that it's easier for you to find the trades. You don't have to be scrolling up and down and trying to find the updates on the trades. It's all in one separate chat room. It's called Nick's important messages right there. And this this yellow bell you're seeing, these are the sound notifications. You can turn them on or off here. As you can see, the bells turn yellow. That means there's a pop sound whenever somebody's posting. And you can just put it just for Nick's chat room, like individually. You can separate it. It's up to you. So if you go to Nick's important messages, you're going to see there that only he is posting there, right? Only he's able to post there. And in this session that you see here, this message, which comes out, what's up, Sarah? Comes out of, this was like 4:52. I think that's Pacific time. And you can see here really quick, there's a market note, okay? CPI spike was too big, which left the door open to disappointment. Powell said nothing new, but finally markets understood what he meant last time he spoke. So you can get a full market update there, but more importantly, what I want you to look into is really this session, okay? Right here where it says live session, where it says that's basically like, that's the link to the live session. That's where everybody is active 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Nick is sharing his screen just like we did today, webinar style, so that you can not only get your questions answered, but also you can get them answered in a format that you have visuals, right? And when it comes to learning, when it comes to learning, right, you can learn reading, but you're only using one thing there. You can learn by audiobooks and you're listening instead of reading. But when you're listening, watching, and you're in that community, it's a lot easier to learn because you have a visual in front of you. You ask a question, he's sharing his screen the entire day. So if you have a question about a stock or how to set up a trade, either a vertical, diagonal, iron condor, butterfly, whatever it is, he can show you, and the visuals of that are going to help you learn better. So that's why a lot of people, it's our most popular thing. People love it. We have about a 90+ retention rate. So people that sign up, for the big majority, keep this, right? Or they just get the lifetime, which is better. I guess it saves you money, right? And if you have questions on the lifetime, it's on the checkout. It has that option there. Feel free to call if you got questions. Doc says, we got to find that Doc guy. I got to negotiate him to give me my name. Yeah, we'll try to, I'll mediate for you, Doc. No worries. Just put a meeting on my calendar. So that's the live session. That's the link, right? So once you click on this link, you're going to download this thing. You downloaded, it's like a Zoom almost, right? And let me, all right, but it's closed right now because, we're doing the session, but I just wanted to show you guys where you can get on the live session, all right? Now, we still have a lot to go over, right? Then you have SPY, Qs, IWM. Let's say, typically I'm trading the Qs, so this is really important for me to watch it, especially if I'm actively trading. Samantha, no, that's let's see. So this is until midnight. The regular price of the chat room is 6,000, Samantha, but we do have a discount, so it comes out to like $19.97. And if you want to get the lifetime, it's 4,000. It's there on the checkout. If you have questions about the subscription, you can email me or you can ask me now while we're live. It's a lot easier to get your answer now, I guess. So basically, these are the Qs. If I'm trading the Qs, then that means that I'm going to look at this every day. But there's people that trade SPY. So let me just move this. Sorry. All right. IWM, that's the Russell. And someone was asking about futures. Nick is also charting the futures and following those as well. Some people do it to hedge. A lot of people trade futures for different reasons. I know you can do it on E-Trade. Let's see. And then you have a trade there, right? So he put a trade there. So you're getting setups, trades there as well, but you're also getting them on the live room, which is the live session that I just showed you guys. There's no monthly, there's only annual and lifetime. The link is there in the chat, Jay. Now let me show you a couple other things here because this has a lot. So you see here where it says starter, enhanced, ultimate. You guys are getting all of that, right? That's pretty much it's one package, which is what we're doing now. So in this one, you can see, setups right here, long put, long call, debit puts, right? So this is so basically this is where the 20 trade alerts that are sent to you by email will come out of. You also will get them by email notification, but you also have this platform where you can come in and watch the trades that are open and such. You can also get text notifications for them. We got push notifications too. This is another one, remember we said the starter, the enhanced, right here. These are other trades, other setups that we have. See view post. I just want to show you this. Let's see. See what we got here. There you go. Clear entries, right? Trade, long call. You also have the original trade there, right? So, all right. Just wanted to show you guys that really quick. Then you got this other one. This is, again, you're going to get 20 trade alerts a month by email on top of what you're going to get in the live room. Okay, so it's a lot. It's more than enough. You can pick and choose. More importantly, you can talk to Nick about these trades and get updates on them, manage the trade so that you're not left in the dark, right? That's the whole point of the chat room. Now let me close all these windows with all these trades and let me show you this really quick. Okay, so Doc is saying I made double my subscription cost today with only a few hundred investments. 3 guys gave me data points to make a decision. A perfect day. Yes, that's great. That's great, Doc. All right. So these are some of the recordings. Moth is asking see Nick's recorded videos. These are some of the videos, and these are very important for you to watch, especially if you're new. Trade setup information, what are options, what are puts, what is a spread, call options, definitions and uses, credit put spreads. This is Nick's bread and butter. Table breakdown, when to book or set a stop loss, when, sorry, when and how to book profits. Risk management. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's the most important thing about trading, risk management, managing your trades. It's not just opening and closing. You have to manage it, right? So that your winners don't become losers and your losers don't basically destroy your account. So this is important, right? When to book or set a stop loss and when and how to book profits. Then you have lesson on breakouts versus swing trades. Basically, this is important so that you know really what type of trading you're trying to do, what fits your schedule, your risk profile. Not every trade is for everybody, right? Can you do them all if you want? Yeah, but I mean, do you have the time to manage all those trades? Like, you have to ask yourself these questions. What type of trade is best? How to pick what type of trade, right? Because you can buy calls, sell puts, credit call spread, credit put spread, iron condors, butterflies, long diagonals, iron long, whatever. There's a bunch of different trades. But really what it all comes down to is the fact that you can make money out of whatever happens in the markets. If you've been buying and holding, people were saying, oh yeah, you know, buy and hold. When everything's going up and the Fed is just pumping money like crazy, it's so easy to just say buy and hold. But when you have these markets, we're in a totally different market environment, all these people that are buying and holding are down a lot. Look at Tiger Global. Tiger Global was like the 9th biggest hedge fund in the world. They're down like 60%. Like, I mean, all these people that were on CNBC telling you to buy and hold PayPal, buy and hold, you know, all these other companies. You look at where they are now, right? So it's really important that you're trading these markets, right? This is a trader's paradise, all right? To put it simply, this is not the time to buy and hold. Yeah. Don't. All right. So, okay. So these are some of the videos that are in Nick's private education library. If you guys want me to kind of put one in there, I can do that. I can show you guys one of these videos, but I really wanted to show you the Sunday strategy session. It's a great session. Let me just go ahead and look it up for you. Okay, all right, this is it. Let me know in the chat if the full screen is good. John, have a good evening, Rodrigo. I'd like to drop in and tell everyone my experience. Joining was the best investment I've ever made. John, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks a lot. Good to hear that. Okay, shoot me an email anytime you want to talk. All right. Okay, so let me know if the full screen works.
Pairing the strategic market update for week ending in 12/16. This is
Brel, really quick, I just want to answer this question here. Brel Kinja, K Ninja, is the Sunday strategy session recorded so that we can look at it anytime? Yes, it is recorded. Doc, is that your boy? John's my boy. What? Okay, all right. So let's just watch this session, guys. It's 6 minutes. I just want to show you the format. And this is not no Heather. There is a Sunday session that Nick does from 10:30 to 1 p.m. This is not that. This is an additional Sunday strategic market update. Okay, like I told you, you're gonna get spoiled. Okay, honestly, spoiled with resources, with education, all that sort of stuff. So let's just carry on. I want to show you guys this, and then I'll show you some other stuff. All right.
A monthly expiration week, so usually it makes the market nervous a little bit. All right, so first of all, let's say what happened last week. Nothing major. We had one red tick after a big rally. How do we know that? Look at the S&P right here. Huge rally and inside a channel. So we hit a descending channel. Naturally, we should pause. It would be abnormal to just bust through this. So a small dip is normal. Even if we have another 1 week or maybe 2 weeks red and give back some, it would be somewhat healthy to have the opportunity to build a better base and eventually break out of this range and challenge this one and repeat the same process. This is normal so far without a new headline. Now, speaking of headlines, the emotional triggers could be Tuesday, I believe we have the CPI. The last 2 or 3 have been very, very, very violent. Some up, some down. So I'm not here to guess which way it's going to go. I would rather make money off of the reaction of the move, because guessing could pay you a lot, but it's a coin flip. I'm not a very good guesser. It's easier to make money off of other people's reactions. That's my message. Whatever happens, I'm going to try to make money off of it. Generally speaking, when we have events like these, I expect a sigh of relief after the fact. So if we fall into the events, I will try to catch the falling knife by taking a few positions that are bullish. Maybe the SPX, maybe the SPY, maybe stocks, I'm not sure. Maybe the IWM. Because I want to swing trade the relief rally after that. We will have a bounce after whatever drop we may get. So if we want to talk some specifics, we have the S&P. Let's talk about the S&P. It's not the SPX, but it is the S&P E-minis, the futures contract. It's pretty close to the SPX, should give you an idea. This is the short term. It's a 30-minute candle. So this shows us what happened Friday and a few days before that. And you can see we have a very tight situation. We have support that is trying to hold and resistance that's heavy. So we have sellers up here. So the lines that I would pay attention to is 40.50, give or take a few bucks, and 39.30. Those are the 2 first lines of defense. 40.50 is right here somewhere inside this cluster, and 39.30 is right here somewhere around this candle. And then we have 39.14, which are these, and below that we would have to look further back to find, because we had pretty crazy rallies. So it's normal that the markets are weak. If I look at it, like, it's easier to lose this floor and hit support. So maybe they fall, and if they do, I will be catching the knife somewhere around 3800, 3780. I will get long for a nice bounce. Let's see what happens. I'm not forecasting the drop, but I'm ready. Just like I'm ready if they take out the 4050, 4060, we may get to the 4180, I think, whatever there is seller. Let's look at this one first, 4110. Okay, so 2 sets of numbers. It tells you that we're in a tight range with a couple of lines that could accelerate the move in that direction. You should also prepare yourselves, because a lot of opinions are going to be on CNBC talking windbags. We have the CPI on Tuesday, we have the Fed event on Wednesday, and the Friday expiration for the monthly. The Fed is not likely to change its mind. If he doesn't raise lower than last time, I think the market will have a huge problem with it. They're expecting a lower raise. If it comes in at 50 instead of 75, that's probably what they're expecting. If it comes in lower than 50, they're going to freak out in a good way. Either way, I think they're going to overshoot in that direction, and I will try to make money off of it, because he's still saying he wants to be bad for the economy for a lot longer than he thought, but at a slower pace. And we misunderstood that message last time. He did not change his mind about raising rates. He just wants to do it a little bit slowly, more slowly than he thought, but to a longer term, to a higher degree. So he wants to be bad for longer than he thought, except he's going to slow down the pace with which he's going to be bad. So I think we misinterpreted. The market thought that he flipped or changed his decisions. Okay, so let's talk other markets a little bit. The Dow, the DIA, I shorted it for us at the top, and we got 1 week of weakness there. It's not the end of the world. Look at it, right? And I think the NASDAQ is kind of like the SPX inside of a descending channel, nothing crazy. The small caps probably will tell us the most honest story, because they are a basket of 2,000 stocks. They don't have big companies yanking them around. So you see they have a very, very flat bottom and a pretty flat top, except for that stupid little jaunt there. Let's ignore it. So on the small caps, if you want to use them as a gauge, 190 or higher, in fact, I'm going to put my alert here, 190 or higher is good news. We will take $10 immediately with that and then challenge this. So what is this? It's back from August. That would be huge. And a dip into the middle range, so say 172 to 175, 170, yeah, something like that. I think we'll have a lot of buyers, because these are pretty harsh bounces on pretty scary times. So we'll see. Now, if the small caps lose the lows that they just established, like 162, look out below. The trip lower could be pretty sizable. and then the market will drop quite a bit, and I will catch him like 10, maybe 20% lower. There are some doom and gloom sayers out there that are expecting this, but they have been expecting it for a while. I think we need something new in the headline, something like really nasty that we have not anticipated. Hopefully it doesn't come.
Okay, guys, and that was the, all right, let me get out of this. That's the strategic market update, but the Sunday sessions are different. Let me see if I can find one here. There's like 3 videos because it's kind of long. Let's see, this is the one. So learned a lot. Yeah, Isaiah, no worries. Yeah, the link is there. The link is basically in the chat for you guys to join. I want to show you how the Sunday session works, the structure. As you can see, there's 2 videos here, right? Let me just show you one of these here.
All right, this is the 4th of December, fresh month, last month. I cannot believe it. Wow. Okay. We're going to review quite a few tickers today, probably 120, 115, I can't remember. I will have a list with the video right up, and before I go on, I want to remind you that tonight I will send out a more important video, which is the overall look as to what we should expect this coming week. And I have a lot of questions that tell me that people now are feeling comfortable, they want to chase higher, like something happened last week. Nothing happened last week. We don't have new information. The Fed did not flip. I don't care what you heard or thought you heard or read that someone said they heard. The Fed did not change its mind. They changed the speed with which they're going to demolish the economy. That's it. They're basically giving themselves a little bit of time to see if things are working their way, and they're not. The economy has not yet slowed down. Okay, this is a representation of the Dow. This says what I'm just saying. Technically, forget the fundamentals. We're going into prior fails, a whole bunch of them for months and months. It should not be easy to just continue higher. That doesn't mean we can't, so you don't short with conviction. But what you can do is not chase like a sheep. Okay? Don't be a sheeple. Nothing changed. So if you are scared about buying a stock down here, you should be scared twice as much about buying it up here. My opinion. A couple of people asked, can I sell credit put spreads chasing? Well, it's better than buying calls, but it's also not advisable. You haven't seen me do that. What did I do? Sell credit put spreads into dips. Somebody reports, they fall apart. I read the report. I disagree with the reaction. I sell a put spread. That's the best scenario for me. If you want to chase with credit put spreads, go right ahead. That's not anything I would do. All right, let's just jump into the list. American Airlines is the first one. You're going to hear me say that a lot today. Range bound, stuck in a range, resistance above, support below. Not an ideal entry point. There are sellers at 1420, but it has a good base into 1360. So nothing to do really if you're looking to buy it, because you would be guessing up if you're trading. If you're investing and you're going all in, I don't know why you would do that. It could be a good place to start. Everything I'm saying for this one applies for dozens of them. So this one, you don't need to submit the the chart when you. What are you asking me? Permission to buy it up here? You will never have it. Permission to short it? No, it's too hot to chase and too high to short. You can short it against this, and then you stop out if wrong. Okay, everything I said about AbbVie applies here. Are you sending it because you're asking permission to book profits? You don't need my permission. Book profits. If you're asking because you want to go long, never in my entire life have I ever said yes to that one. You buying here, you're bailing this person out that has been stuck there since 2021. So they've been stuck for a year. You want to be the hero to give them your money and saying, I'll take over? No. Okay. Let's go back to a slower time frame. I don't know what this is. Oh, Albemarle. Yeah. Stuck in a range, support at 265, 270. A lot of resistance into 290 and 295. Not an easy entry point. You're looking at the gap. These are not easy gaps. If they can hold 275 and go to 290 and get back to 284 and then go back to 295, okay, then it looks better. But going into this is not for me. Be careful. Applied Materials, it has a good trend. There are machines buying it into 104, 102, and 100 versus the failure into 112. If they take out 112, they could burst higher. So if you want to buy it on a dip into one of those supports in order to hold it so you can bust out of here, that's a viable strategy. AMC, if you're looking to invest in AMC, I caution you, this management belongs in jail as to what they're doing with the stocks and the people who love their stocks. If you took their whatever other spin-off called, you basically lost your entire money. These are heavy selling zones. It is a great trading stock if you know your stuff and you can withstand these violent moves. Personally, I don't think anybody can trade these unless they're hooked up to rumors. So thank you, Luis Ape. Yeah, so I would not touch this, but it is tradable. And if you're trading this and you're asking for trading, you should be in the live room. Nothing I can say here would be safe enough for me to say. AMD, this is still in the hands of the bears on the weekly chart. They still have quite a bit of downside to go, but it's not necessary. They've already fixed a whole bunch. And this is the battle zone, 80-ish. Yes, it can get to 84, 85. It will need the market. And like I said, if you don't want to inherit the problems that come with having a semiconductor stock that has China news, that has supply chain news, blah, 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 then just be long the market. But it has behaved the way we have charted it. So this is the next challenge. I'm not forecasting this. I would rather buy the dip into 65. What is this they left behind? Why do they always do that? The people who trade the stock, they're like children. The reason why it fell all the way here, because of how it rallied and left a whole bunch of holes like this. This is not as bad as the one before, but nevertheless, this is not an obvious entry point. If you're getting long, you're betting the markets will be higher. And if they are higher, this one could break out. Hi, Scott. Okay, I don't know what this is. Looks like it's stuck in a range. All right, so I don't trade these stocks. You couldn't pay me to trade these stocks. There are better ways to make money. If you're investing in this stock, the chart's not going to help you much. Just do homework on the chart itself. Now you have a seller here and a buyer there. Ping pong between the two. What is this? This is not a good stock chart. The sellers are selling every pop. So now the deal is, can they go above 7.9 or before they lose 6.5? If they lose 6.5, you don't know how low it goes. If they go above 7.9 or 8, they could get to 950. Again, why are we dealing with these charts? You would never see me trade those charts. You would never see any of my friends who make a living trading trade those charts for a living. You can make money as an investor and a speculator out there, but professional traders do not touch these charts. I'm just letting you know. Okay. Let's see here. Amazon, I like the company. I like the fundamentals. You know all of that. Right here, it's the middle of the range. The range I'm looking at is 86 versus 104. If the markets continue on higher, this one should do well. You have a 98 resistance and a catalyst, a bigger resistance here and a catalyst. Don't buy a call because you see a gap. Why don't you look down and see a gap down here? So what do? If it falls into support again, I would try to get long with stops. If it rallies without me, that's okay. If I want to do something, I would do a credit put spread and wait. All right. It is in the hands of the bears, right? Look, channel selling rallies. This is a rally, it was sold. This is a rally, it was sold. This is a rally. Is it going to get sold? We don't know. I would rather catch the falling knife than chase it. ARK F and ARK K right behind it. If you're investing in both ARK F and ARK K, you're making a mistake. If you love ARK Invest, choose one. Choose one. Okay. And don't choose any if you already have ARK Invest companies, for example. If you're already long stocks like Square and Unity and Palantir, and you're buying ARK and ARK-F, you're doubling down on your same investment. They will move in the same direction. Do not do that. Spread your risk across different entities. Okay, different styles. If on the same day the two stocks are going to be up or down together all the time, don't do that. Scatter them. There's horrendous resistance above and pretty good support below, stuck in the range, nothing to do. Maybe a credit put spread to kill some time. Iron Condor if you're active. Look, nothing changed, right? It's the exact same comments. All right. Also, if you're long Tesla, I believe is 12 to 15% of this one. If you're long Square and things like that and Tesla, then you're already long RK. Don't add RK or ditch your other ones and buy RK, which I wouldn't. Arai, on a daily basis, it looks pretty exciting. Usually when a stock fails this harshly, it becomes a pretty big potential catalyst. So if you're holding long for this breakout, I feel you. Higher lows is good. So dips, and if you buy dips into 18 to eventually bust out of here. To be honest, I traded this a couple of times and then I said I won't touch it again. This is like Palantir. High growth, except they don't lose money. So I don't know what they do. Just be careful that you have a good handle on their business. Asan, I know it got shellacked and somebody said I'm doubling down on the dip. I don't see where the confidence comes from. They barely make any money in sales, and they spend a shit ton of money, excuse my French. So I wouldn't add to it unless I know the company inside and out. And not beyond knowing the industry, knowing this company inside and out. That is a horrendous chart. I wouldn't touch this with anybody's money, not for me. Not to discount what the company's doing, I'm just letting you know. Broadcom, good short-term trend. I bet you if I zoom out, I wouldn't say that. Yep. So check this out. This basically puts a visual as to what the stock markets are doing. We had a dip that we erased. We had a bigger dip on tremendous fear that we erased. If we have a small dip, listen to those words. If we have a small dip, look at the upside potential we can, as mature traders, as mature markets have. The upside potential, I'm not going to give it full credit. I'll just do this to visually represent the upside potential. So if you can show this to the entire market and say, listen up, market, drop for a few days. I promise you much more, much higher highs, even a brand new all-time high in the markets. That's where we are. The markets are up against prior fails, are up against a descending trend line. If they would just have the maturity to drop for a few days, have a red week after many red or green weeks, just have a red week, come back, take where you fell from last week, you will have a new all-time high because it would lead to 4,300. And once you get to 43, 43.50, the dips will find support at 41.50 and then off to the races. And I can almost guarantee you a new high. So what I'm saying for Broadcom is too late to get long here. It could make money, but it's not the right thing to do. As it falls into support, get long for a swing back up there. Except I see earnings. So everything I said here, forget about it. When you're trading into earnings, you're just guessing, gambling. Boeing, somebody said it looks, they wanted to go long. No way on earth I'm going long Boeing here. I don't have good clues. I could make money, but it's going into prior fails, like hideous fails. It's been important since 2017. I didn't put that here today. So what do? I could do an iron condor at best, but even then, I'm not sure. A dip into 160 would be a good place to get a credit put spread in place. If you force me, I would sell a call spread. Baba, I wouldn't touch it. I know a couple of you in this in the live room were short. I said I might short it, but I don't know if I did. I don't remember, to be honest. I wrote up a credit call spread and a debit put spread. Either of those two would work. The combination of both would show a lot of extreme conviction, which is not the case because the person that brought it to my attention said this is a lot. It's not a hardcore position. So if it's not, then I would definitely not do both, either a credit call spread or a debit put spread. Now you have to be aware that there are skirmishes in China about reopening, and it sounds like the president's will not be done this time, because something about cities reopening in spite of the overall policy. It's about time, right? But they haven't done it, and that's China. It's a quarter of the world, so respect that potential headline of reopening. They're not for me. I don't trade those anymore. I traded them recently and got lucky, made money. I promised myself I wouldn't do it, and I did it. Anyway, Bank of America, this is not a place to get long, although it is falling into support. So depends on what your thesis is. Are you investing in the company? Then there's nothing to do. And if you're looking to buy into the company for an investment, then I would do a little bit at a time. Above 38.5 might get interesting, because then, like the arrow said, take this out, we'll get to here. They took it out, they couldn't hold it. They need to take it out again. So maybe a credit put spread could work, but it's still not for me. There's not a lot of premium in Bank of America options. Beto, so made some money, and everybody's like hates. Now everybody hates crypto. This is where you build a position for the long term if you believe in it. The good thing about Beto is it tracks the price of Bitcoin, and it doesn't put your money at risk from the platform itself. What does that mean? You don't need to send your money to crypto.com in order to, or FTX like companies, in order to make money. You can just buy it in your any trading account. So that's pretty decent. Now it tries to track the Bitcoin futures. How close is it? I don't know. So far it's made me money. I'm long crypto. I didn't add hugely. I traded the hell out of it, and I did not close my longs, and a lot of them are green. So okay, Caterpillar, the short finally paid out. Look at me putting all these pitchforks. I forgot the conversation. But wouldn't that be interesting to see the one candle touches both ends of the two pitchforks that we were talking about live? I don't remember who I was discussing this with. I don't know much about pitchforks, and I was trying to teach myself. Look, anyway, range bound with resistances that have worked. The credit put spread worked. The credit call spread went under fire, and last week it was green, the iron condor, all by itself, the whole thing. So I suggested for people to close it. I think I still have some shorts at 240. Above 240, it can rocket, but it also has two other tiny fails, big fails above that. So I can take that out because that's not correct. I shouldn't say that. I think they're trying to top, but it's a lot more rounded. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it up here or down here soon. On 11/28, 12/1, 227. That hasn't happened yet. We'll see. Okay, what are we? Carnival. I forget what that pop was all about, but it ran into prior fails. Good trend, short term, prior fail. This is pretty difficult. What the heck is this? Double gap, so choppy. Good trading. It's almost like AMC. I wouldn't touch them for investment purposes, but for trading, they're pretty exciting. But you need to know your stuff. CDMO. Okay. I don't know it, but it's going into a prior fail. So if you're investing in it, you know more than I do. From a chart perspective, this is a pivotal zone, not a good starting point. You're going into prior fail. It's going to be resistance. Everything I said. Okay, so there's somebody who's, a couple people that are stuck long. So they're saying it's a good thing long. Okay, then don't look at the chart. If you believe in it as an investment for the long term, don't look at the chart. The industry is crazy. I just tried the industry this week, and I don't know how they're in business. The thing.
Hey guys, really quick, just want to take a little break here. I wanted to give a quick warm, all right, quick and warm shout out here to a couple of new family members that we have. This chat room is a family, okay? This is like my second family, but also it's like a real family, like in the chat room. Everybody we treat as such. So James Beach, big shout out. Welcome to the family. You know, now that you're part of us here, you have any questions, James, you know, you can always email me, all that sort of stuff. Big shout out, everybody. Welcome, James. And I just wanted to show you guys really how the structure works, right? How the structure works on the Sunday call, right? And how it also works with the chat room. We went over in this session, we talked about trade ideas, setups, like 30, I mean, on top of the stocks you're looking now, we talked about probably, I don't know, like 20, 30 stocks or more. We talked about different trading strategies for options. We talked about credit call spreads, credit put spreads, iron condors, buying calls, buying puts, how to structure the trades. Scott, yeah, what I was showing was an example. I just wanted to show the structure of how the Sunday video is, but this is live. We've been live all this time. So yeah, but I just wanted to show you that video is from like December 4th. It was just to show you an example of that. The other thing that maybe if you guys want, okay, there's a couple of questions about the checkout. Just know, guys, checkout is, it will expire there in 4 hours. Okay, so this is till midnight. Make sure you at least send an email if you need a little bit of time. But yes, you can either do the annual, which it has the same stuff, or you can do the lifetime. All right, whichever one that you want, that makes sense. And it does have, the live room basically has 5 to 10 daily trade alerts in the live room. It's open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. And then separately, you get 20 email trade alerts a month. So you're talking about probably 5 a week minimum. Then you also have the Sunday session, which is the video that I was just showing you from December 4th. It's 150 to 200 stock analysis on Sundays. So we call it Stock Analysis Sunday. It's from 10:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern. And that is included as well. All these things are separate things, but the Rodrigo special here gives you all of it in once, right? So just know that, you know, it's pretty much here. The coupon's already applied. You can pick whichever one, annual or lifetime. And if you have questions, the email is there and the number is there if you want to call. Now, this is also included, the education videos. This is like a starter pack. Everybody should watch these videos, which is trade setup information. What are options and puts? Call options. What's a spread? Credit put spreads. When to book or set a stop loss. And when and how to book profits, right? This is to manage, you know, if you have losing trades, you know how to manage them, okay? You don't just hope. Then this is how you manage your winners. So basically, both of these videos basically fall under risk management, which is not really, you know, a lot of people don't talk about it, but it's very important. And we think it's important here. So you should watch those videos. This is what type of trade is best. And this is how to pick what type of trade, right? You want to buy a call, sell a put, do a credit call spread, a credit put spread, or anything like that, right? There's a bunch of different types of trades. It's really important to know when to use each one. Look at it this way. If let's say two countries go to war and one side only uses bayonets, you know, like rifles, and then the other one has jets, tanks, you know, all that other stuff. So obviously you need to be equipped for whatever the market gives you, right? Like if you're going off-road, you need an off-road car, right? You need a car that's able to do all these things. So that's really much like, you know, the same concept for trading. The markets don't just go up, right? Maybe if they're quote unquote manipulated like they were in 2020, where we were pumping QE through the roof, but now that QE has stopped and, you know, we're in a different environment, you need to be able to adjust. If you've been buying calls, I mean, maybe you did well and got lucky in 2020, you're suffering right now because you only go long. And that's one of the biggest adjustments that I made in my trading this year that really helped me, was being able to know how to do short type of trades, like the ones that Nick teaches, right? Not just trading not just buying puts or buying calls on inverse ETFs and things like that, but also being able to do covered call spreads and all these sorts of different types of trades that, you know, have different risks attached to it, but you can pretty much determine how you want to do it, right? If you want to be trading it, if you want to buy puts on the QQQ, if you want to buy those puts on that expire at the same day, or puts that expire 2 months from now, 1 month from now. Like I remember like a month ago or something like that, when Tesla was at like 220, 230 around there, I just had the feeling that it might break under 200. And, some people are like, that's a little bit too much, but then look at where it is now. It's like at 160, 70, like, I don't know. So sometimes those moves take a while, but when you're buying puts that are more out of the money, they're less volatile. But and if you're trying to trade actively, like let's say on like day trading them, then you want to use shorter term expiration puts. Depending on what you're trying to do, Nick will have a strategy for you. And what I tell people is that once they join the room, just ask Nick, just ask him like, hey Nick, I want to make $100 a day. What's a strategy that I can use? Some people want to make 200 a day, 150 a day. Everybody's going to have different limitations based on their account size. There's no such thing as a one size fits all. It does not exist in trading. Everybody has a different schedule. Everybody has a different risk profile. Everybody has a different account size. So it's always going to change. The good thing is that this is as custom as it can get, because you have private conversations with Nick. You can literally ask him what you're trying to do and how to do it. Diamonds, I'm going to check out the room. Diamond, you should check out the room, definitely. There's a great community there. Doc is part of the chat room there. There's a lot of other great members, including Doc, that I've signed up ever since I launched this chat room with Nick. I think it was in April of last year, I think, and it's been nothing but great. I mean, the community is great. The people are great. There's no fake accounts. There's no bots. It's none of that stuff you see on Discord chats or Wall Street bets or anything like that. This is a legit group of people, like-minded traders that are trying to make money and learn. It's that simple. Everybody that's there, it's a real human being. It's a real trader. And basically, it's not like, for example, if you're trying to learn, if you go to some of these public places, people are just going to be like, what are you doing here? Like, they're just going to dog on you, basically. And look, I'm a trader myself. So I can also tell you from experience that it's really hard to learn. And if you're trying to go out to these public places to learn, you shouldn't be doing it there. It's like, who goes to Reddit to learn how to trade? Like, obviously, if you're new, you're not aware of any of these things, but that's really why other traders can give you good advice on like, hey man, like I wouldn't do that. Like, you wouldn't, things like that, right? If you have a question about specific things, you have people that have already been trading that are part of a community, and they can kind of guide you through the basic do's and don'ts, because most traders will make the same mistake. And the funny thing is that those same mistakes are the easiest mistakes to avoid. I've learned this not just by trading, but also I've talked to about 9,000 traders since I've been here, traders from around the world, and it's always the same mistakes, similar mistakes: position size, risk tolerance. There's just, I could make a list of these things, but yeah, Doc, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. There's people out there that exactly. They don't really care if you go to a public, thing out there. Like, these people don't really care about you, or like, honestly, which is really why it's good to separate, yourself from the herd. If you are serious about trading, if you're serious about making money, this chat room is for you. It's just that simple. It's a community that focuses on this. And if you think about it, you're there with a bunch of experienced traders that are helping you improve your trading. You can ask questions, and some of these questions can be simple, some of them can be complex. It doesn't matter. There's no limitation. And it's really hard to know where to start if you want to be successful trading. There's so many things that, the Greeks and this and that. There's so many things out there. It can get overwhelming. And the best suggestion I can give you is that you should join this community and also, trade with Nick, right? If you want to do paper trading at first, that's absolutely fine. It's like if you enlist to go to war, and you've never fired a rifle or a machine gun, nothing, you need to get training before you go. So it's important to get the training. Doc, I want Diamonds to be part of the team. Diamonds, I can hook you up. Don't worry. Scott Hall, the bear put spread and bull call spread is the same as the vertical on some platforms, correct? I would ask your brokerage, Scott. They're all different. What do you think about Cambridge University, or what? Cambridge Analytica? What do you mean? Which Cambridge, Big? Okay, let's see. What do you think about cannabis stocks? So we had a conference in Chicago. Benzinga had a conference, and it was a cannabis conference. And I got to meet a lot of growers. I got to meet a lot of companies, like publicly traded companies. I met Mike Tyson, Ric Flair. I was actually doing a webinar live, and Mike Tyson walked into the room I was in, and I thought I was in trouble, but he was just taking pictures there. But cannabis stocks, I don't know really the legislation behind it. They've been saying they're going to legalize that thing forever since I can remember, but you can trade them. Nick has traded cannabis stocks in the room. He trades them. He's been trading for a while. So we do have people there that that trade cannabis stocks. Yep. So no, Doc, I'm talking about a cannabis conference that was in Chicago. I didn't go to the New York one. I'm busy here, dude. I got these chat rooms are like, there's a ton of people in the chat room, and we always have a lot of development. I do want to give a big shout out here to Tammy, Vin, Harvey, that people that have been helping create these chat rooms, improve these chat rooms, basically adding things. I've been trying to get push notifications for a long time, and they finally listened. They finally got them. We got them now. All you have to do is download your the Benzinga on your Apple Store or Play Store, whichever one you have, and log in with your credentials, and then you're going to get push notifications from these trades. As an example, let me show you. Okay. So right here, this one you would have gotten a push notification for this. This is SQ. It's a credit put spread, right? So you would have gotten this. You would have gotten this one, and keep in mind this particular post. When you get the notification, not only do you get the strategy, the market update, all that sort of stuff here, but more importantly, right, you're going to be able to get into the live room. Okay, you get into the live room. What is this? Pull up yesterday's chart here. Let's see what this is. Okay, so this is yesterday's chart. There's a bunch of charts. Also, everything else you see, SPY, Qs, IWM, it's all charted. And this is in the morning. This is posted in the morning. Chef Power, want to join? Chef, send me an email. You got my contact. That's literally my direct line, my email. So if you want to communicate, ask me questions, I'll save this for you. But yeah, all right. So we've gone over the chat room. I went over some of the videos. We went through the checkout to make sure you guys know how this works to sign up. These are the educational videos that I was talking about. These include everything from what are spreads, calls, puts, credit put spreads, risk management, setting booking, when to book or set a stop loss for your trades, when and how to book profits. Very important. Winners and losers, you always got to manage them well. And then how to pick which type of trade to use. There's different types of trades. SPAL, which brokers allow spread options for beginners, and is there a minimum amount? I think Robinhood does not have SPX, which is something that Nick trades basically every day. So every day we do an iron condor, right? And Doc can tell you all about it. So basically he does an iron condor every day on SPX, and you don't get assigned, but Robinhood does not have SPX from what I believe. They don't? Okay. So Doc says they don't, but yeah, I haven't seen it there. But I mean, honestly, if you're trying to do these types of trades, you might want to look into a brokerage that can let you trade SPX, because we trade that every day, and not just in the iron condor format, but we also might do a credit call spread or a credit put spread. There's different types of trades. It's, there's more to options than just buying calls and buying puts. And once you start doing that, it's going to change for you. I know, because I talk to traders. I hear the feedback. I get emails from people that sign up like, hey man, this is really great. Thank you so much for getting me into the chat room. I've learned a lot. Now I'm not really basically, they were gambling before, and now they're being more strategic. They're being more tactical about their trading, which is how you kind of want to be. You don't just want to do day to day. I mean, you can do whatever you want, honestly, but like, it's important to know all these different types of trade setups that you can make, because the markets are always going to change. Yesterday's market is not today's market, and tomorrow's market will be different as well. So we have job reports coming out all the time, retail sales numbers. We got, real estate, mortgage numbers, oil numbers come out, CPI numbers, PPI numbers, manufacturers index, Chicago, Michigan consumer sentiment. I mean, there's so many reports out there that come out literally. So it's, like every day is a different day in the markets, and you can't just use like one strategy and just think you're good, you're set. Even for people that have been shorting, like, I mean, some of these rallies, these bear market rallies, if you will, that we've had have been pretty nasty. And if you've only been shorting, and you can only, you know what I mean? Like if you're only shorting, then, you might get your face ripped out there sometimes. So you need to be able to go both ways. And what do I mean by going both ways? I mean that you should be able to go on the long side and on the short side. You should be able to know how to do both of these things. You can't just have one strategy and then think, that that's the only thing that's going to work. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me go over a couple of questions. Folks, yeah, 1 second here. I'm just gathering some questions from you guys. We're gonna carry on with the session here. Just need 30 seconds basically to write down a couple of these questions. All right, folks. So yes, a couple of questions there. So S Pale says, are spread options right for small accounts? Yeah, I mean, if we have people that have smaller accounts than that, S Pale, but yes, I mean, it's very important. And look, this is what I was trying to say earlier, that like there's no one size fits all. Everybody has a different risk profile, different account size, different goals. You come into the chat room, you're like, I want to make $1 million every day. Okay, like, let's be realistic. So it's also about setting proper expectations. That really makes a big difference, knowing what is realistic and what is not, because if you're trying to make some insane amount of percentage gain a day, you got to understand that, there's a risk reward factor to this. The more you risk, the higher your reward. But do you really want to take all that risk every single day? That's up to you. If you want to do that, put a little part of your account for that, right? Separate part of your account for spreads and then put another part for the trading side, which is like doing this, buying calls or puts that expire the same day. And then you can even do an iron condor that expires the same day, yields 25%, 20 to 25%. We do one every single day on SPX. So Nick does an iron condor every day, all right? That will yield 20 to 25%. Additionally, in the chat room, you're going to be buying, if you want, right? If you want, you can be day trading the price action. So buying puts here, Nick will say like, hey, this is where I would look into buying some puts. And then he might, let's say he looks like, he could tell you then like 15, 30 minutes later, like, okay, those puts that I said you guys should buy earlier, I think this is, I think you guys, if you have them, you should close those puts and possibly consider maybe going long here, buying some calls. So the price action is crazy nowadays. The volatility is through the roof, but you can make money in the volatility. Volatility doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose money. You can make money in the volatility, right? In the price action. So Burleton, yes, it is. It happens, man. You know how many shorts have gotten destroyed when we had that crazy rally a couple months ago, like for no reason, just to lose it all. So that's what I mean, the volatility. These charts are moving in crazy ways.
There's a lot of things happening now. Look at everything that happened with Bitcoin. Look at what's happening with all these places that are shutting or going bankrupt. What is it? BlockFi, Genesis. I mean, what was the other one? FTX, dude's in jail. Like, this is a unique time in the markets. I can tell you that. And it's just really important to know what you're doing, right? There's a lot of things happening out there. Volatility is clearly here to stay. There's no guarantee that the Fed is going to be able to control inflation. They've literally gotten everything wrong from day one, and they've been basically, in my opinion, lying about all the stuff. Soft landing, and then from soft landing to feel the pain, and then so yeah, it's really, like Nick says, you cannot really trust the Fed, right? I mean, we've all heard this, right? Don't trust the government, don't trust the Fed. But like, you can, as a trader, legitimately, like, you can't really, like, the price action that happens in these Fed meetings, sometimes it doesn't make sense. And there's a lot and you can't really just go by what he says today. Like, he'll have a speech, and then his speech is obviously, somebody writes it for him. And then he has a Q&A, and that's where things get, saucy, because people ask him questions, and then they kind of try to find what's going on. But clearly, they were saying that, yeah, it transitory this, like inflation would be transitory. Look at a chart of the value of the dollar since the creation of the Fed. It's been a free fall. So, and when they say inflation goes away, I don't know how it's going to go away, but businesses are not going to drop their prices. They just don't. They just stay at that point, and your dollar is basically worth less. So if you have money sitting in a savings account, it's literally just deteriorating. It's like the rats are eating your cash. That's why you need to find ways to be proactive with your money, and either trading or doing these sorts of swings. Like the iron condor, you can do it. Burlton, you're right. Volatility is opportunity if you know how to play it. And by knowing how to play it, you have to know all these different types of trades. You can't just be a call buyer. You can't just be a put buyer. You need to be able to play both sides. And the thing from there is how risky you want to be. What kind of risk are you trying to take? Where if you're buying a call, like there's calls or puts that I've bought that expire the same day that have probably gone up like maybe hundreds of percents. But then you're risking also, losing everything that you put into that trade. If you do a spread, let's say you do the iron condor that we do on SPX, you're yielding 25% on that if it hits, right? If it stays within your levels. So 25% a day is great. I mean, that's not bad. That's not, even though most people want to make 1,000,000% and all this stuff, like sometimes, slow and steady wins the race. And 25% is not bad. I mean, it's 25% you did not have yesterday. So you do these, and these iron condors expire every day, and you don't get assigned, right? So that's why we use the SPX. So I think it's important, guys, that you guys, think about your trading, think about your goals. Are you serious about trading? Are you serious about making money? Because if you are, this chat room is for you. Nick will commit everything. Nick is already fully committed. I'm telling you, like, we're married to the chat room, okay? Nick is there Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m., okay? So that's just number one. And then he's there on Sundays from 10 a.m., 10:30 to 1 p.m. That doesn't even count, like, all of the amount that he spends researching and working on your trades and answering questions. He's even there on weekends, okay? Now, I'm committed as well to this. I put in like 12, 15-hour days working on these things, on these chat rooms. And it's a commitment. It's not like a set it and forget it kind of thing. We keep adding more things to the chat rooms. We keep improving the chat rooms. Like I'm telling you, this is a family. We're here to help the retail traders. We're here to help the average Joe, the little guy. Typically, everybody's out there to screw up the little guy. And the reason why this chat room is great is because we focus on helping the little guy. Everybody forgot about that person. But this is really what we're here for. This is the home of retail traders. That is who we are as a company here, especially with what I do in my department here. Like, we focus on helping retail traders. That's specifically what we do. So
What is the average win? So yeah, Adam, the yield that trade will give you is about 20 to 25%. Now that's on if it expires, a daily expiration. We do one every day, but then you can also ask, would like to do one for the week. Now I don't know how much that's going to yield because it's going to change, but you can ask him. You can ask him if that's what you would like to do. Obviously, it would be less. It would be more time that you would be adding. But when you're doing these spreads, time works for you, not against you. So when you're buying and when you're buying stuff, it's against you. When you're selling, it's the opposite. And there's a lot to learn. I know it could be overwhelming if you're new, but the best thing here that you can do is really to invest in yourself. That's the best investment that you can do in life. Invest in yourself, invest in your education, invest in something that's going to help you generate income. This is a skill set that you're going to learn. And if you learn it well, you're going to have this skill for life. This is something that you can use proactively or passively to make additional income. There's only so many in the hours in the day. You can only pick up so many shifts at work. You can only work so many hours. But with trading, you can basically boost and enhance, enhance your income. It's that simple. I know people that have full-time jobs, they get a paycheck, they put half of it into doing an iron condor with Nick, maybe 1 month out or 3 weeks out or 1 week out. These are not things you have to be checking every day. Obviously, you need to have a sense of what's happening, but you can do these sorts of trades that don't require you to be staring at the screen every single tick. But if you do want to trade the tick to tick, the day to day, you can also do that, right? We have day traders, swing traders, leap buyers. We got option buyers, option sellers. We got stock buyers, commodity traders, Forex traders, people that only do sectors. So it doesn't matter what you do, what you like. I'm telling you that this is probably going to be the best move you're going to make in your trading. And I'm pretty sure it's the last, once you get it, it's the last subscription you're ever going to need. I don't know anybody else that's doing this with this much time, with this much commitment. Nick definitely does a great job of being there for his members. And you as a retail trader, you get all the benefit of it. You're able to basically have a on-demand professional options trader guide you on your journey trading options, guide you, mentor you, help you, give you feedback, analysis, help you on your own trades, right? And once you have that direct communication, it makes it a lot easier. You can private message him, you can do everything. And on top of that, you have a great community. You got people like Doc, you got people like Diamond who's going to be a member soon here. There's so many, James Donahue, I know so many of these people in the chat room because I signed them up, but they're great people. They really love to learn. They love making money. And I mean, it's a great cause, right? So what's the last time, if you think about it, this, when you're trading, that's like your little business, right? What's the last time that you in a competing, quote unquote, competing business would help each other out to it's not competition, right? But in the chat room, we're all trading together as a team, as a group, as a community. So we all want to make money and we all want to learn. We all want to become better traders. It's more income. It's an immense, like you're saying, Doc, immersive learning. It's a great, and I mean, we haven't even talked about the learning experience because it's not just about the trades. I've been showing you trades. I've been showing you the videos he does on Sundays. I've been showing you everything that he's doing there. And that's enough as it is. But then on top of that, okay, you get so much education. We're talking about Fed meetings. We're talking about things that are happening in the markets with Bitcoin, with mergers and acquisitions, with earnings, with technical analysis, with fundamentals, with macro analysis, with micro analysis, sector analysis. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. All right. So do you do Forex in chat rooms? So we don't teach Forex, but I'm telling you, if you're trading Forex and you don't know what's happening in the US stock market with the US dollar, then you shouldn't be trading Forex at all. I know several Forex traders that are in this chat room
to get in. Look, the dollar runs the world, okay? If you know what the dollar's doing, you need to know obviously what the stock market's doing. It's just going to expand your knowledge base. So if you're trading Forex, this chat room is still going to help you, right? The dollar runs the world. And if you're trading currencies, you need to know what the dollar's doing. And if you know what the dollar's doing, you sure as hell should know what the stock market is doing, okay? These are things, this is why a lot of people join the chat room. I don't trade Forex, but I know why Forex traders would want to join, okay? Especially when we're talking about interest rates, especially when we're talking about Fed meetings, right? All these sorts of things. Of course, they impact the dollar. Of course, that impacts other currencies. Of course, yes. Now, do we recommend, currency trades or things like that? No, we don't. But if you trade Forex yourself, you already know how to do that stuff. All this stuff is just going to be additional help for you to trade things like that, especially considering that we're talking about US stock market, and we talk about the US dollar, which of course is impacted by rates from the US Federal Reserve. So yes, man, you can still benefit from that. Showbeat, how does he handle 300 plus people? So how does he do it? He drinks this thing called Bang Energy, and he basically does it. So you can ask questions, you can private message him, you can get any questions about your trades at any point. A lot of people private message him, that's fine. Other people just post in public, that's perfectly fine either. But it's really not that hard once you say the things that, look, I mean, financial advice, obviously I'm not a financial advisor, even though those guys are getting their butts whooped, but like, even if you're like a financial advisor, all that stuff, like when you're talking about like learning to trade, these options, like buying a call, buying a put, it's really not that complex. Once you go through these videos that I have here, this is Nick's private library. This is going to really explain it so easily. Financial advisors make everything sound so complicated so that you don't understand and you just basically feel overwhelmed. You give them your money and then you don't hear about them except, every year, and they'll just keep taking money out of your profits if they make a profit. Clearly, the experts have been losing money all this time. So none of these people are experts because they've never been through this. What's happening is a once in a lifetime thing that's happening right now. Geopolitical issues in record, huge inflation, all these things that are happening right now, a virus, China being locked down, of course, that impacts oil markets. There's so many things happening right now. There's no such thing as an expert in these days. You really have to teach yourself and trade with the community so that you can take care of yourself. Whenever you're looking at the news, you got to remember they're just listening, they're advertising, talking for their sponsors, whoever they are. When you're in a chat room with us, you're basically part of our community. If you're not successful trading, then we would not be successful in what we're doing here. So the chat room is successful because the results that people get are equally successful, right? I don't know if that makes sense to you, Shabik, but basically your success as a trader is our success as a provider of these chat rooms. So, and it's not like there's 300 people asking questions at the same time, Shobit. That really doesn't happen. I guess you just got to try it, Shobit. I guess you just got to see it. But you have the members here. There's really no better thing than actually hearing the members. But yeah, Nick is definitely big on this Bang drink, and he's got a lot of energy, and he's very passionate, and he loves what he does. And I guess that kind of helps as well, right? Like you wouldn't be able to do this if you're not committed. You just wouldn't be able to do it. Keep in mind, everybody is asking questions whenever they have one. It doesn't mean people get 50 questions a day. Like when you get that question, you learn, but also, the other thing is that you learn when other people ask questions. Somebody has a question, boom, you have an answer to a question that you didn't even think about. That's real value when you actually are sitting there. I know people that are in the chat room that are not even trading. They're just there for the education. They're just there to learn. They're there to be part of a community, part of something bigger, really understand what's going on. We have people that are paper trading there, right? Because they're learning. They want to do things the right way. You should learn that way instead of trying to learn by blowing up your account. You shouldn't I know because I blew up my account twice, and I know that it happens a lot. and a lot of people will not say it, but like, I think it's good. Maybe you can learn from my experience that you should not try to wing this. You should definitely join a community, because you're going to lose way more than what you're going to pay for this chat room. I guarantee you that, if you don't get your thing straight before you start trading options, especially options. Tao River, Rodrigo, this is a perfect and accurate description of what Nick's private room is about. Tao, I mean, you're not going to tell me, dude. I launched it with him. I know this chat room is amazing. It's great. The people there are amazing. The members we have there, every question gets answered. Doc is absolutely right. Every question that is there gets answered. And that's really what the community is about. So, Showbeat. Yeah, I mean, doing the math like that, it really wouldn't make sense. You really have to be in the chat room where you can see. Also, I mean, if you got 100 questions, Nick will have 100 answers. And remember, you have him there for 9 hours a day. 9 hours a day. Nobody else will do that for you. Nobody else will be there available for 9 hours, going back and forth with you, answering questions, things like that. It just it's not out there. Like, I have services too. I know what's out there. And that's really why a lot of people love the chat room, because they get that. They get the attention they want. Obviously, look at it this way. If you just go one place for a university and you only get 1 hour class 2 times a week, you're only going to learn in those 2 hours, and then you got to teach yourself, right? In this chat room, it's not a university, but like, it's, we should get this class in a university, but like, you have an instructor who is there for 9 hours a day. Tell me another place, tell me another thing in general that you have an instructor literally available 9 hours a day, private instructor, private mentor for 9 hours straight every single day, and Sundays. It's just really one of a kind. So we've gone over a lot of these things, a lot of these videos, these educations. Ultimately, I can explain it to you. I can show it to you. You can see what the members are saying, but ultimately it's your decision if you're committed or not. If you're ready to make money, if you're ready to learn, to be part of this, that's obviously your decision, right? Is your priority making money and learning by, to make additional income? If it is, then I think you should join, because, all these other people, these 300-400 people that we have there, it's there for you to see, right? Like, I can come and show you and explain this to you, but ultimately, you have to put in a little bit of effort, like, I don't know what was the exact number, but there was some saying that when you go to school or university, like 30% is the instructor and then 70% is you. Like, do you want it? How bad do you want it? Do you want it at all? Right? Are you committed? Because if you're not committed, then like, what's the point? But like, in this chat room, not only if you're committed, you're going to get the results you're looking for, but you're going to learn a lot. Okay. You're going to go over all these things. Marlena, basically that means that if, for any reason you don't like it, we can switch you over to another. We got different things, but yeah, that's something that if for any reason you don't like it, we can switch you to something else within that time period. Okay. So, all right. So we went over the videos, guys. We went through the chat room. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. We went through the trade alerts. We went through this. You got push notifications also. So that means that if you download the Benzinga app on your phone, which I think you should, okay, so that you can get news and things like that, you're going to log in with your credentials that you have your chat room with, and you will get the push notifications sent to you. I get them all the time. It is fully functional. It works. I use it myself. And it goes for all of your Benzinga trading alert things, right? So every time there's a trade out there, you're going to be able to get notified immediately. And look, I'm not part of the subscription, okay? But in a sense, I kind of am, because I'm here to help you. I'm here to pretty much guide you through whatever you need with this stuff. Like if you have questions about the room with Nick, if you have questions about, using the chat room or anything like that, when I launched this chat room a year ago with over a year ago with Nick, Obviously I didn't know what to expect, but I mean, it's just become so great. And the people there, they're really doing a great job. They're really doing, a lot of great things out there. And it's great to see the results. Sorry, just getting an email here. So look, I'm looking at the results. And look, the members like Doc, people that come up, show up. Those are the people that end up doing the best. Like, when you go to class, like right when I was in my last years of college, I started sitting in the front. I didn't think it made a difference, but I'm telling you, it makes a difference. You sit in the front, you are paying attention. And that's kind of what I'm encouraging you to do. Burlton, send me an email so I can lock it in for you, okay? But yeah, basically what I'm saying is that by sitting in the front, I'm saying that if you are active in the room, right? If you're paying attention, taking notes, pen and paper, all that sort of stuff. You don't even have to be trading. Like, I mean, you can be there learning, and then look, knowledge is power. Let's be real. If you know how to trade and you know how to work these options, you're going to make money. Okay. And the person next to you that doesn't know how to do it is not. So you want to be the trader that makes money. Okay. When you're trading against another trader. That's the reality of things. Possibly an algo, who knows? But you're trading against someone else because somebody's selling what you're buying, and somebody's selling to you what you're buying. And ultimately, the other person thinks they're right, and you also think you're right. What makes the difference between both of these traders? What's the difference between the person that's buying and the person that's selling? They both think they're right. The main difference is, what do they know? What do they know? It's that simple. So if you know what you're doing with options, if you understand risk management, if you look at the charts and you look at the technicals and you go through these trades and you really understand pros and cons of what you're doing, setups, the risk management that you'll take in, you need to know what you're doing, right? As an example, when people are buying these way out of the money calls, or way out of the money puts, they're gambling in a way, right? Well, you can sell them those calls, you can sell them those puts. But, if somebody out there literally is just buying it for buying it because he's just taking a gamble, and you're selling that to him or her, you have to look at not just the delta, but you're also looking at the probabilities of that happening. So you can basically be a mini market maker, right? You can be the casino. You can be the casino, the mini casino, local casino, whatever you want to call it. If somebody, let's say a stock is trading at $20 and somebody buys a $60 call or a $50 call or a $40 call that expires in a week or expires in a month, a lot of people will sell that to them because the odds of that happening are really not that likely for the most part. I mean, who knows with Wall Street bets and all this stuff, but just as an example, right? So you can basically make money out of traders that don't know what they're doing, and that's the reality. So you want to be the smart trader. There's two people in a transaction. You want to be the person that knows what they're doing, right? Always have the odds in your favor. Whenever Nick does these credit put spreads, we're talking about an 80, 90, between 70 and 90% probability of success. Because these are things that will not happen unless there's some catastrophic huge change in the markets, like we go to war with Russia or something like that. Like these are things, like for example, if you do a credit put spread on Tesla, like around $50, there are people that are going to buy puts that think that Tesla's going to 50. If you go right now to your TD Ameritrade or whatever it is you use, and you look at the puts on Tesla, you're going to see people are buying puts in very, very out of the range spots because they're very bearish. And guess what? They bought it, but somebody sold that to them. So you can sell risk. You can sell risk. So there's a lot, basically, guys. I mean, it's hard for me to go over all this stuff, but there's a lot that you can basically do with this room. Okay, there's a lot that you can do here. Not only can you make great trades, but also you can learn. You can learn a lot, and learning is really important, right? You can't oversee this. You can't pretend it doesn't matter, because in 2020 everything was going up.
you really have to be a smart trader, especially with the volatility that's out there. So, all right. So I've been working for 12 hours now. Probably got 3 more to go. If you guys have any questions about the chat room, about Nick's services, about why this would work for you or why you think it will not, and I can go over, whatever details, questions you have, put them in the chat if you got any questions about anything that we discussed, anything about options, setups that we talked about, spreads, condors, anything, you name it. Put it now so that we can answer that before we wrap up this session, which has been an amazing session. It's been a great session. I really do have to thank everybody here for being part of this, session. I love doing these things. And I think that you guys, can benefit a lot from this. I really, truly believe so. I really believe from the bottom of my heart that this is the best options chat room in the world. And it's a fully international community. Like I told you, I've signed up people from Australia to Canada to Finland to Ukraine to Russia to Brazil, like all sorts of places, every state in the US. And I've signed up people from Nigeria. You guys know I got a lot of friends in Nigeria. I've signed up a lot of people from Nigeria for some reason. I'm probably famous in Nigeria, I swear. Camilo, can we have a beer? I mean, that's funny, man. So yeah, I mean, this is an international community. We have some great folks there. I have personally met some of the chat members because sometimes we do these conferences, like we did one in Vegas, and it was great. I got to meet a lot of the members, and it's just a great experience. It's definitely more than a chat room. I'm telling you this, like, it's very easy to just overlook this and be like, yeah, it's just a chat room. But like, it's so much more than that because we have fun in there. Nick cracks jokes. And I mean, it becomes a little bit surreal sometimes, the fact that you're making money in a chat room and that's your job. You're making money there. You're cracking jokes. It's like, wow, like I can actually make a living out of this, or I can actually make money and have fun here with these people. And it's a workplace. I mean, it's legitimately a workplace. I signed up somebody 2 weeks ago that works at the Department of Defense. I've signed up people that work in UPS. His username is actually Paul Delivers. You will see him in the chat room. There's a bunch of people there that we've signed. We've got real estate agents, we got insurance agents, we got people that work in meat factories, like people from all walks of life, a bunch of lawyers. And the cool thing is that everybody brings in their own 2 cents, meaning that, as an example, like Paul Delivers, he was telling us like, hey man, like, deliveries are kind of slow. And some people, made some trades, and, it's just really gives you a unique insight. When you have 300-400 people from all around the world, and people are seeing, like, there was this one guy that I signed up from Ukraine, and he was telling me like, you guys think you have it bad with gas? Like gas here is like 10 times more expensive. Like, even though, yes, it's pretty bad here, but like, if you try to buy gas in Ukraine, if it was $4 before there, it's probably like, who knows, 30, 40 right now. So it gives you a unique insight of different things that you really wouldn't get trying to trade on your own. So there's a lot of benefits to doing this. Number one, obviously, don't trade alone, right? That's important. But then you also have these other things, right? That you get insights from other traders, education, trade ideas, setups. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this, but now that the chat room is a lot bigger, it's grown, it's matured, it basically took a unique form. It's its own thing now, it's its own animal. And you can make money however you want there. If you want to be actively trading, you can do that. If you want to be passively trading, you can do that. I want to give a quick shout out here. KSW, welcome to the family, brother. Let's go. Everybody gets an air horn, all right? Everybody that joins live. So yeah, KSW, just make sure, all right, make sure that make sure that you are there at 8 in the morning. The chat room's open 24/7, but the live room opens at 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. Eastern.
So it's basically before the open. Some people like to trade the open, okay? And obviously you need to be there if you're trying to trade the open, but then, some people trade after the open, like at 10:30. And typically we'll wait, when we do an iron condor, typically we'll wait, we won't just make a trade right out of the gate. It's really important to and again, these are little things. These are the little things that nobody tells you. But that's why the chat room is a great spot for you to learn these little things, because there's no manual out there on how to be a successful trader. People can sell you books and all this garbage, but ultimately, there's no better way to learn than you learning by seeing, right? Learning by watching it yourself. And that's the best way to do it, right? There's no point in reading books and all this stuff if you're not, it's one thing to read a book, it's another one to live it, and then you write your own book, right? So if you do this, I think it's the best formula for you to be a successful trader. I think you have to realize that if you're trading, why do you think it's so easy for you to open a brokerage, put in $250,000 and blow it up? Why do you think it's so easy? Because a brokerage makes money either way. If you make money or you lose money, doesn't matter. They still make money out of you. When you're buying these calls and they expire worthless, who do you think bags that money? So if you're going to be gambling, you might as well just send a check to Goldman Sachs. But if you want to make money, then you got to hang out with retail traders like in this chat room, right? Because when you're trading in any brokerage, they'll make money out of your account, win or lose. However, if you're in this chat room, our goal, our priority, our number one priority is your success. We don't care if you're shorting or you're going long. It doesn't matter, because we're pretty much unbiased to the markets. The markets can go up, the markets can go down. It does not matter to us as traders, because we can make money on both ways. However, if you turn on the news, they're always going to be pumping the markets. They're always going to be telling you, such and such. This hasn't happened, in 1 year. They'll give you these little random facts just to make it look bullish, and that's their job. They get paid to do that. They are journalists. They're reading from a script. They're reading from a teleprompter, and you can't trust them. The only person you can trust is yourself and all these other traders that are trading with you, right? Because ultimately, you want to be successful. The other traders want to be successful. We're trading as a team. We're trading as a group. We don't care if the markets go up or down. We're still making money. We can short or we can go long. So that's really the main difference between what I do, what we do here in the chat room, and what these other places, news places, will do. That's just their business model. They get sponsors and all that stuff. But what I'm doing here, what we're doing here, is that we're helping the little guy. We're empowering the little guy. Nobody cares about the little guy. Everybody's trying to screw him up. And ever since we started this chat room, the reason why it's been a great success is because that's our focus, helping retail traders succeed. I'm a retail trader. What do you think? I'm some hedge fund billionaire? I'm here to trade with you guys. I'm a trader myself. So when I'm trading and I'm doing all these things, oh wait, I didn't get, hey Nuno, I got to give you a shout out here. Hold up. We got Nuno. Nuno, we're going to give you an air horn. All right, let's go. Nuno, what is this username? All right, big shout out. New member of the family here. Nuno, let's go. All right, Nuno. Nuno KSW James Beach. Oh, you're here. All right, Nuno is in the house. Let's go, man. Let's go. So for all you guys here that join, remember, really important, okay? Get into the chat room at 8:30 a.m. If you want to be there earlier, you can be there earlier. It's 24/7. Promise you, there's going to be people in there. There's going to be people talking already, because look, I know people that have made a ton of money on this chat room, okay? And what do you do when something's paying you a lot of money? You go harder on it. That's why we have people in there literally throughout the whole 24/7 hours talking. Remember, it's an international community. We have people in all different types of time zones. So there's always people in there. But the live session with Nick starts at 8:30. a.m., 8:30 a.m., and it goes all the way till 5 p.m. Nuno. All right. And there's a daily iron condor that Nick does. It's daily, right? He does it every day. It expires every day. We do it with SPX. Make sure that your brokerage has make sure that your brokerage has SPX available, because we're trading that every single day. And the other thing I want to make sure is that go to your app store, okay? Go to your app store and download the Benzinga app. When you download the Benzinga app, log in with your thing, like with your credentials. Because that way, if you log in with your credentials, it's gonna connect to your subscriptions here. So when you get your subscriptions, your alerts, all the stuff, it's gonna go as a push notification to your phone. So remember, you're gonna get a bunch of trades inside the chat room, inside this blue chat room, but also inside this other one. This is the live session. So make sure, Nuno, in the morning that you actually, for this post, it has like this morning note, market updates, strategy plan for the day, live session, ETF, SPY, Qs, IWM, futures. So this is really important. Look, once you get the alert on your phone, that means that the session started, okay? Now, even if Nick might not be talking, many times he's just like if you have maybe you don't hear him talking, it could be because he's answering a question or something like that. He's obviously not talking the entire day. Obviously, he wouldn't have a voice, but people text him, people ask him questions. He's basically there the entire day. You can see his screen as he's doing it, as he's moving and doing all these things. So you basically have all that access, right? That's always going to be there. And just make sure that you get there in the morning so that you can actually take advantage of whatever's happening, right? There's a lot of things happening in the markets. You kind of want to make sure that you're on top of that, especially because there's so much going on with the volatility. You don't want to be caught, without anything, like without the information, anything like that. And okay. All right. So Nuno, and I appreciate all you guys for being here, really, man, because this is a pretty great session. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I always do. And Nick, it's great to learn from people like Nick. Nick has personally helped me a lot with trading. And I keep it real for you guys. I tell you exactly how things are with this stuff. That's my responsibility, I feel, to kind of help you as a retail trader. If I've gone through something or experienced something, then I feel that it's my responsibility to kind of tell you how it goes. Because remember, like, I don't have any sponsors or anything like that, like I'm for the little guy, and that's what I do here. So my goal here is for you to become a better trader. I want you to make money. I want you to be successful. I want you to be the best trader that you can be. And it might sound weird, somebody telling you that, but that's legitimately like our structure. If you do well and you're successful in the chat room, you're going to stay in the chat room. So it's my job, it's my responsibility to make sure that we can continue improving the chat room, that we can continue adding features, that we can continue making it a better environment to learn, a better environment to make money, in other words, right? And we keep adding all these things. So where do I log in and get into the chat room? Check your email. You probably got a welcome email. Give me a quick second here, just getting a quick email here. 1 second, folks. All right, Nuno. So yeah, look, we've been here for quite some time. It's been a 13-hour day for me, and I think that it's been a great session. So I'm going to post the link one last time for you guys. And if you have questions, my email is there. My number is there. You can call me, email me, text me, whatever you want. And I can go over any questions you have, any details you might want to go over, you know, if the chat room is for you, how you can benefit from it, from these trades and things like that. So a big shout out to everybody that was here. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Nuno. I appreciate your participation, your attendance, the fact that you guys are trying to become better traders and more successful. That's inspiring to me. I think you guys are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Join the chat room. Be part of this family. Join my family here, okay? The link is there. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 in the morning in the chat room with Nick. You're welcome. And just know that I'm one email away. I'm one phone call away. I'm one text away. Any questions you have, I'm here to help you. Big shout out to all you guys. Let's go. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. If you got questions, you know how to contact me. Have a great day. Stay safe. Happy trading. Sarah, good to see you. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow in the chat room. So big shout out. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you there.